Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Went to One Piece World and Joins Monkey D. Luffy Team Part 3. Before we start, please go support KingJoka for writing that awesome fanfic. Chapter 8. Second last day of winter break. It's been about 2 days since the attack on Izuku and his friends. The incident was reported to Nezu by Izuku and was taken care of without the public knowing. It was simply labeled as a revenge attack from some of the members of the human trafficking organization. Currently, Izuku can be seen balancing on one of many wooden poles while doing hand-to-hand combat training with Edgeshot. Izuku. At dinner. At a fancy restaurant. Edgeshot. Yeah. Apparently, you rescued the owner's daughter. He wants to pay thanks to all the heroes involved with the rescue operation. Izuku. His daughter. I wonder if it was that little crying girl. Anyways, are you sure about this? I thought your agency ran through the night. Edgeshot. We do. But part of being a hero is public image. We need to maintain it so we're not hated by the citizens we try to protect. Izuku. I see. Never thought of it like that. Ah, you're open. Edgeshot. So are you. Izuku punches Edgeshot in the face just as he gets kicked in the gut. The two then fall off their poles with Edgeshot hitting his back against the pole behind him and Izuku hitting the back of his head. The two proceed to fall to the ground whilst knocking into surrounding poles. Enki. You guys alright? Izuku and Edgeshot. We're fine. Izuku. So what time should I be there? Edgeshot. 7:30. I'll write down the address for you later. Izuku. Got it. And mind giving me the place's number? Edgeshot. Why? Izuku. I want to see if I can reserve something in advance. That's alright, isn't it? Edgeshot. As long as it's fine with the owner. Izuku. Thanks. 8 p.m. at the aforementioned restaurant. Kaminari, Zero, Ibarra and Mineta can be seen sitting at large table with Edgeshot, Maruko, Mount L, and Kamui. Kaminari. Tugging a collar. Ugh, I hate wearing suits like this. Maruko. I know, kid. Wearing a dress really cramps my style. Edgeshot. Behave yourselves. We are in public, so I expect you to show excellent manners befitting of a hero. Maruko. Says the one wearing a mask at a dinner table. Mineta. Can we order yet? I'm starving. Edgeshot. We'll order when all of us get here. Mineta. But we've been here for half an hour. Zero. I texted Midoriya and he said he'd be here any minute. Edgeshot. Speak of the devil, I think I see him at the entrance. The group of interns turn around to see a well-dressed Izuku, as well as two other familiar figures, walking towards them. Izuku. Hey guys, sorry we're late. Enki. Hey. Jiro, Melissa, what are you two doing here? Izuku. Well, I wanted to invite Hatsum-san and Melissa-san to dinner so I could thank them for helping me with my modifications. Melissa-san agreed, but as for Hatsum. Melissa. She said she'd rather be rewarded with a night alone with Deku-san's bike. Last we saw her, she was flying off into the night sky. Jiro. Which is why it took so long for us to get here. Izuku. Anyways, I had already asked the owner to reserve 2 extra seats, so I was in a bit of a bind. That's when Jiro-san called to ask if I could teach her some of Brook-san's fighting music. And from there, I decided to ask her if she wanted to come out for dinner. Jiro. I saw no reason to turn down a free dinner at a fancy restaurant. I'm a little disappointed it wasn't just the two of us. Zero. Never thought I'd see you in a dress. Jiro. Shut up, it's a social requirement to dress fancy in a place like this. Izuku. I don't see why you're mad about it. You look cute in that dress. This causes the dark-haired girl to go red in the face and freak out a bit. She then stabs one of her earphone jacks into Izuku's ear. Jiro. What the hell are you saying? Izuku. Ow, why? Melissa. Giggle, looks like you've gotten even more popular in those 2 weeks. Meanwhile, at the table. Mineta. Damn it, Midoriya's getting all the ladies. Even the stone-hearted Jiro. It's not fair. Zero. Stop ruining the atmosphere with your sour grapes. Mineta. Don't deny it, I know you feel the same, right, Kaminari? Enki. Actually, I'm with Zero on this one. Mineta. See, wait, really? What about Jiro? Enki. What about her? Mineta. Seriously, I thought you'd be jealous. Enki. Now why would I be jealous? I'm happy as long as she's happy. Mineta. Sometimes, I don't get you. Zero. You know this is why he's more decent than you. Ibarra. At least one of you is somewhat redeemable. Mineta. It's 2 against 1 now. Edgeshot. Quiet down. B.M.S. Yes sir. Mount L. Can we order now? Edgeshot. Unfortunately, we cannot. We're still waiting for 5. Izuku. 5. Edgeshot. Yes, they approached me because they wanted to have a word with you. Izuku. With me? Who are they? That would be us. Izuku turns around and is met with the familiar faces of Nezu, Endeavor, Burnin, Ms. Joke, and Tiger. Izuku, Principal Nezu, and Burnin and Endeavor. Zero, and Ms. Joke and Tiger. Ms. Joke. Hey kids, been a while. Izuku. You five wanted to talk to me? Nezu. Yes, but let's order first. It seems you're all quite hungry. Mineta. Yes please. Everyone proceeds to take their seats and call for a waiter. After a short while, everyone receives their food and begins eating. Mount L. This stuff is so good. Pamui. As expected of a 5-star restaurant. Enki. It's good and all, but. Zero. Knowing the taste of Midoriya's food makes it hard to enjoy this. Deadshot. Oh, I didn't know you cooked. Izuku. Yeah. A great chef taught me how to. Burnin. Then cook steak for me when we get back to the agency. The steaks here are a little too dry. Is joke. Really, I thought you liked flame grilled. And Mount L. Boo. Deadshot. Stop acting like children and eat your food. Mount L. Oh yeah, well why don't you eat you wait what? Mount L looks down to Edshot's bowl to see it was empty along with his glass of wine. Edshot. I'm waiting on seconds. Mount L. How in the hell did you eat that fast? Edshot. Who says I ate fast? Perhaps you just eat slowly. Pamui. I agree. I'm finished as well. Boruko. Damn it you masked weirdos. At least try to eat normally. Edshot. Says the one who ordered a miniature carrot cake for dinner. Boruko. I can't help it if I love carrots. Nezu. Quite the lively group gathered here tonight. Endeavor. Let's get to the point already. Nezu. As impatient as always, aren't you? But you're right. Midoriya, it's time we talked. Izuku. Before we do sir, allow me to do something. Izuku puts down his knife and fork and proceeds to reach into his coat. After a bit of fumbling, he pulls out his gauntlet and slips it on. Zero. Wait, you brought that thing with you? Izuku. I don't see why I can't. Izuku snaps his fingers and puts up a sound barrier surrounding the table. Izuku. There, now anything we say here won't be heard by anyone besides us. Nezu. Oh, the power of the devil fruit is it? Izuku. Indeed it is. Now tell me, what is it you wish to speak about? Nezu. We've come upon a situation young Midoriya. And we believe you can help us with a solution. Izuku. And what is this dire situation? Nezu. I'll allow my compatriot to explain it to you. But just know that none of you can say a word about this to anyone. Endeavor. Listen child. In 4 months, a great tragedy will fall upon us all. Due to the severity of it all, I cannot tell you how I became aware of this upcoming calamity. In case we as pros fail in subduing it, the next generation will serve as a backup plan. However, I cannot make certain by myself that all of them will be ready when the time comes. Izuku. And. What exactly do you want me to do? Endeavor. I had heard from Nezu about your training. In those 2 weeks you had gone missing for, you spent 5 months in another world getting stronger. Mount L. Wait what? Boruko. That true? Deadshot. It is. Pamui. And how do you know that? Deadshot. They had told me about it when they contacted me. Endeavor. Deku, I ask of you now, for the sake of the future, to take your fellow classmates to this other world and put them through the same training you went through. Izuku. So that's what you wanted. Nezu. Yes, for the next 4 months, or rather for the 3 years, you'll all be training. For good measure, we're also sending Izawa, Vlad, All Might, Midnight, and the Big Three with you. By the way, do you remember that video of you fighting that I gave to the news? Well, it wasn't just to send a warning to villains. It was also to entice Shiketsu and Ketsubutsu. And it worked. Shiketsu has agreed to send 2 of their students along with you. Is joke. I'll be tagging along too to make sure there's no funny business amongst you students. And to also mess with Eraserhead. Tiger. Us hussy cats will be tagging along for the same reason. Endeavor. Burnin will also be traveling with you. Once you all return, she can share what she learned with the rest us heroes. Burnin. You can count on me chief. Deadshot. Mount Lady will be training with you too. Mount L. Wait, what? Why do I have to go training? Pamui and Deadshot. Because you need it the most. Mount L. So mean. Nezu. Of course, none of what's said right now can take place if you're not willing to ask your crew, Midoriya. So, what do you say? Izuku. You're asking me to contact my crew and ask them to take on a massive burden like this. I don't know if I can do such a thing. I owe them so much already. And even if I did, what about the others? They'd be joining the crew and eventually become wanted. I'm fine with me being pursued, but I can't help but fear for what would happen to them if they were caught. If they end up hurt because of this then. Enki. Midoriya. It's alright. Izuku. Huh. Denki? You don't have to worry about us. We want to do this. Zero. We all saw how strong you'd gotten. You're pretty much a living war machine. You'd gotten so far out of our league in just 2 weeks. Denki. And after getting left in the dust like that, it's only natural that we, and I mean all of us, would want to try and catch up. Ibarra. We understand that by doing this, we'd become wanted criminals. But by doing this, we'd actually be getting closer to becoming heroes. Jiro. And if you think we'd get caught by Marines so easily, then you've been gone for far too long. None of us would be deterred by something like that. Izuku. Guys. Mineta. So, there you have it. We can take care of ourselves. Izuku. You too, Mineta. Mineta. You don't have to sound so surprised. Where the ladies go, I go. Zero. Of course you'd say that. Izuku stares at his friends in awe for their determination and fearlessness. Izuku is snapped out of his daze when he feels tugging on his coat. He looks down to see a familiar-looking girl with one hand behind her back. Behind her are an older male and female in well-dressed suits. Izuku. You are. Girl. Here. The girl holds out her hand to reveal a small cake. Izuku hesitantly and carefully takes the cake from the girl. Lady. We heard about you from our daughter. She often speaks of the smiling hero that rescued her. Man. Our daughter means the world to us. We had almost broken down when she was abducted. From the bottom of our hearts. The two adults and child proceed to bow their heads to Izuku. Man. Thank you for saving our daughter. We are forever in your debt, hero. The two adults and child stand back up straight. They then bow their heads before walking off. The little girl stops to wave goodbye before joining her parents. Nezu. Midoriya, this family was able to resume their daily life because of you. With your help, we can work to maintain a future where this can continue. From your generation, an even stronger generation of heroes that are naturally born with your skills can emerge. It all depends on what you say. Izuku. Alright, I'll do it. Just remember that the final saying isn't mine. It's my captain's. Nezu. I am well aware of that. And thank you. Boruko. Hold on a minute. Endeavor. What do you want? Boruko. To Izuku kid, take me with you. Izuku. Huh? Boruko. If I go with you then I'll be able to learn how to use that black stuff, right? That stuff gave me a serious boost in power. Ever since then, I've wanted to use it again so badly. Take me with you so I can learn how to do it on my own. Izuku. I don't know. For a top hero to just suddenly disappear is kind of suspicious. Deadshot. I say let her go. Izuku. Are you sure Deadshot? Deadshot. She's a solo hero who doesn't belong to any agencies. She won't cause that much suspicion if she goes away for a while. Besides, it reduces my headaches. Izuku. Principal Nezu. Nezu. Why not, what's the worst that could happen? Boruko. Alright. Melissa. Is it alright if I can also come along? Izuku. Melissa, you want to come with too? Melissa. Truth be told, I've been very interested in the technology from the other world. And I can say for certain that Hatsune will be begging to come too. Also, if I end up in any trouble, I know you'll come to my rescue. Izuku. Well of course I'd come to your rescue. We're friends. Nezu. So then there's no reason for her not to come with. Izuku. I suppose not. Nezu. Excellent. Now that that's taken care of, let's enjoy the rest of the evening. Midoriya, we'll make contact with your crew once you're all back at school. Izuku. Understood, sir. Nezu. Good. Now who wants dessert? Mineta and Denki. We do. The following night, at the Todoroki residence. Tatsuki. But why? Shoto. My sister invited us over for dinner. Tatsuki. But why? Shoto. She wanted me to introduce her to my friends. Tatsuki. Go tell her right here right now that we've never been friends. Izuku. Oi Kaken, there's no need to be so angry. And honestly Shoto, I wish you'd have told me about this dinner sooner. I could have helped your sister with the cooking. The three continue to walk to the house as Endeavor sweat drops from all the yelling. Once they all make it inside, they are met with the warm smile of the elder sister of the Todoroki household. Fayumi. Thank you all for coming, it's nice to meet you, I'm Shoto's sister. Fayumi, thanks for always taking care of Shoto, sorry for inviting you on such short notice. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to accommodate me today. Tatsuki. But why? Izuku. It's no trouble at all, Milady. It's not every day I'm invited over for dinner. Shoto. Oh, is Natsuo here too? I saw his shoes. Fayumi. We wanted to get to know you guys. We're Shoto's family, after all. After a few more introductions, everyone settles down and starts eating dinner. Fayumi. Don't force yourself to eat anything you don't want to, alright. Izuku. No, I can't stand the thought of wasting food. Besides, everything is really delicious despite having such a deep flavor. The skin of this Totsuta fried chicken has the perfect amount of crunch, resulting in such an exquisite mouthfeel that just. Totsuki. Stop analyzing your damn food. Izuku. I can't help it, it tastes so good. Fayumi. Thank goodness. I'm happy to hear that you like my cooking. Natsuo. Well, of course. Ever since our housemaid threw out her back and retired, Fayumi has been taking care of the cooking. Izuku. I see. No wonder it tastes so good. It's been made with experience. Fayumi. Give yourself some credit, Natsuo, we take turns, don't we? Shoto. Then I've eaten your cooking. Natsuo. Ah, I wonder about that. I might have been forced to stop. After my cooking failed to reach someone's standards. The atmosphere immediately and noticeably tenses up. Natsuo glares at Endeavor as Izuku and Kitsuki try to keep their composure. Fayumi pinches Natsuo's leg and tries to lighten the mood. Fayumi. What do you eat at school, Shoto? Shoto. At the cafe. Endeavor. I didn't even notice. Next time miles per hour. Yet again, the atmosphere tenses. Izuku looks over to Kitsuki to see him still keeping his composure. Izuku. Looks like Kaken was already aware of the situation. Natsuo grabs his bowls and plates and gets up from his seat. Natsuo. Well, I came like you asked. Can I go now? Thanks for the food. Fayumi. Natsuo. The group can only watch in silence as they see Natsuo walk towards the door. Natsuo, I'm sorry Fayumi. I still just can't. Silence continues to dwell within the room. Everyone finishes their food without so much as a word. Shoto, Kitsuki and Endeavor take care of the dishes while Izuku and Fayumi handle the table. Fayumi. Sorry for making you guys help out. Izuku. No, I'd feel bad if I left all the cleaning to you. Especially since you treated me to such tasty food. Fayumi. Oh, you flatter me. I heard from Shoto that you make absolutely delicious food. Izuku. Well, if you want, I can give you a few of my recipes. Fayumi. Wow, that'd be just great. Thank you. Izuku. It's my pleasure. Fayumi. I'm sorry about my family. I didn't want to involve you two in our family's circumstances. Izuku. It's alright. I already knew about it from Shoto anyways. And I'm pretty sure Kaken knows as well. Fayumi. I see. I guess Shoto would talk about these things with his best friends. Izuku. I can tell that you also feel resentment. Fayumi. Is it that obvious? Izuku. And no, it's not that. I can just feel it somehow. I'm not saying I can relate, but I know that family matters can be a burden on someone. You have my respect for keeping a smile on your face for their sakes. Fayumi. Smile. Shoto was right, you really do have a way with words. Thanks. Izuku. Don't mention it. Shoto. Midoriya. Fayumi and Izuku look to see Shoto standing in the door with a blank expression on his face. Fayumi. Shoto. How long have you been standing there? I guess you must have heard all that. Shoto pays no attention to his sister and continues to stare blankly at Izuku. Izuku. Shoto. Shoto. Midoriya, I'd like a niece if possible. Izuku. What the hell are you saying? Shoto. Ah, that was a joke. Izuku. Please don't make jokes like that with such a straight face. Fayumi. Blushing. Why yes, please don't, those kinds of jokes aren't good for my health. In fact, I think you nearly gave me a heart attack. Shoto. Sorry Fayumi. Still, Midoriya, thank you for raising my sister's spirit. She tries the hardest out of all of us when it comes to forgiving and forgetting what my old man has done. Kitsuki. Ugh, enough of this depressing bullcrap, hand over the rest of the dirty dishes already. Izuku. Ah, Kaken. Kitsuki. Seriously, you're supposed to keep this stuff to yourselves, dinner parties are supposed to be light-hearted, you're just ruining the taste of the mapo tofu. Shoto. You're making things less light-hearted. Izuku. He's not wrong Shoto, you're a kind person. And like your sister, I can see that you're preparing yourself to forgive your father. You're just waiting for the right time. When the time will arrive, I don't know. But it will come someday. Fayumi and Shoto look at Izuku surprised from his statement. The other two members of the Todoroki family hear Izuku's words from the hall. After cleaning the table, the group sit down to enjoy some tea. While drinking tea, the topic of the late Todoroki brother and the source of Natsuo's hatred of Endeavor are revealed to Izuku and Kitsuki. The talk continues until the three boys are called by Endeavor to leave. The three gather their things and prepare to leave. They stand outside to say their final goodbyes. Izuku. Thank you so much for the meal. Kitsuki. Hey, give me that mapo tofu recipe. Shoto. I'll get her to text it to me. Fayumi. Sorry things ended up like this, let's talk about school next. Endeavor. Fayumi, thank you. Fayumi smiles at her father's words. She then turns to Izuku. Fayumi. Midoriya-kun. Izuku. Fayumi walks up to Izuku and grabs his hand. She looks him in the eye with a smile on her face. Fayumi. Thank you for being Shoto's friend. Izuku. Oh, that's the pleasure is all mine. The group wave goodbye and enter the vehicle. The ride is mainly silent at first. Endeavor looks over to Izuku as he decides to speak up. Endeavor. Listen you three. From this point onwards, you're going to be put through hell. There'll be no escape from this training, so you'd better prepare yourselves. Shoto. Planning to amp up our training now, aren't you? Izuku. Let's hope things actually go the way he planned. Shoto. Katsuki. The hell is up with this small-ass car? Katsuki yells with his head out the window. He then proceeds to get into an argument with the chauffeur. As they continue driving and arguing, the chauffeur notices something ahead in the road. Getting closer, the entire group can notice the road markings lift up from the ground. The markings gather around a shadowy figure standing in the middle of the road. Bound up in the markings, Natsuo can be seen taken hostage. Got yourself a nice house, don'tcha Endeavor? Shoto. Natsuo. Chauffeur. Get your head back in the car, drop out. The chauffeur yells as he drifts around the man. After the car comes to a stop, Endeavor bursts out in a furious blaze. The car itself is then wrapped up in the road markings. Endeavor. Release him. Do you remember me, Endeavor? The villain yells as he holds Natsuo ahead of him, which causes Endeavor to stop dead in his tracks. Endeavor. 7 years ago I apprehended you for assault. You had given yourself a villain name. Your name was? Yes, that's right, amazing, I can't believe you remembered me, I'm so happy, that's right, it's me. Ending. The villain continues pulling up road markings as Endeavor continues to heat up. Ending. I'm sorry Endeavor, but I hope you understand I admired you, I don't have anything left to protect. Ending pulls up and points an arrow at Natsuo's head. Ending. I'm going to kill this man. So I'm begging you, Endeavor, please kill me. It wouldn't be that different from killing that Nomu, you'd just be erasing another lifeless husk. Suddenly, the sound of an explosion can be heard coming from the car. Ending and Endeavor turn to see Katsuki, Izuku, and Shoto rushing towards them. Chauffeur. You forgot something. The chauffeur yells as he pulls a lever. From the trunk of the vehicle, launches the 3 interns' Hero Gear suitcases. Izuku grabs the suitcases and tosses his friend's cases to them. The 3 proceeds to gear up and get ready for action. Shoto. Natsuo. Ending. The interns, I'm finally going to retake control of my death. Endeavor. His posture is off balance, this is my chance. Endeavor gets ready to rush in, but locks eyes with Natsuo. The look in his eyes causes Endeavor to freeze. Izuku, Shoto and Katsuki dash past the frozen flame hero. Ending. Come, my flame of hope, you've no choice but to take me seriously since your son's life is on the line. Ending pulls up more road markings and sends them towards Shoto. Shoto. Natsuo. Shoto fires up his left side. He focuses his flames on his left arm and uses them to eradicate the markings. Shoto. Build up power at a single point and release, let him go. Shoto blasts towards Ending at full speed using his flames. Ending. Hurry up and kill me. The markings on the road are pulled up and proceed to toss several cars full of people into the air. Ending. Until you do, the death toll will keep on rising. Ending says as he proceeds to toss Natsuo into an incoming taxi. Katsuki. Condense the power. Out of nowhere, Katsuki blasts in like a rocket and rescues Natsuo from colliding with the taxi. Katsuki. The death toll ain't going anywhere. Izuku. That's right, we're not letting you have your way. Izuku yells as he jumps into the air and uses Black Whip to catch the falling vehicles. At the same time, Shoto delivers a fiery blow to Ending and successfully captures him in his ice. Endeavor then takes the opportunity to run up to grab hold of Katsuki and Natsuo. Endeavor. Are you hurt? Katsuki. As if. Get off of me. Natsuo. So hot. Katsuki. You smell like old man. Katsuki says as he slips out of Endeavor's grip. Katsuki. Where'd that white line bastard go? Shoto. He's been apprehended. Izuku. Everyone's alright here. Katsuki. Shut the hell up, Deku. Izuku. Why? Katsuki. Hey, no. Point 1, remind me again, what was it you said to us before winter break ends? I want all 3 of you together to show me that you can eliminate villains even faster than me. Endeavor. Ah yeah, you guys were incredible. Katsuki is visibly shaken and irritated from the calm demeanor of Endeavor's response. Endeavor. You guys covered for my mistake without wasting a single second. Katsuki. TCH, why's this bastard being so modest all of a sudden? Be saltier, damn it. Izuku. Kaken, that's enough. Katsuki. Huh? Itsuki turns to glare at Izuku, but calms down once he sees Izuku's face. Izuku? We have no right to interrupt those two. Soon, the police arrive to deal with ending. Izuku, Shoto and Kitsuki were sent back to UA by Endeavor. Enji's latest decision regarding the Todoroki family still remains in the minds of the Todoroki siblings. Particularly the youngest one. The next day, UA High School. Class 1 is currently in the process of preparing for their practical reports. Changing room, girls. Toru. Achako-chan, did you change your costume? It looks so good on you. Achako. Really? Thank goodness. Jiro. The hell, your wrist guard is ridiculously heavy. Achako. There's a wire inside. So I can nullify its weight with my quirk. Momo. I see. That's such an innovative idea. Mina. And what's over here? Achako. Ah wait. Just as Achako screams, a small object slips out of a pocket of the belt Mina was holding. Jiro then uses her earphone jack to pick up the object before Achako can grab it. She then holds it up to her eyes so she can get a good look at it. Jiro. Isn't this one of Midoriya's earrings? Achako. His third one. He asked me to hold on to it until he was worthy. Mina. I see. Achako. No, you don't, Ashido-san. Jiro. I don't know, I kinda see it too. Mina. Oh, that reminds me. How was your date with Midoriya? Jiro. Wow, that wasn't a date, I was just invited by coincidence. How do you even know about that? Mina. Oh, I heard about it from Melissa and managed to convince Zero to snag me a photo of the two of you and Midoriya. Jiro. Zero, I swear to God you're gonna pay for this. Boys changing room. Zero. Shivers, I don't know why, but I just felt a wave of terror wash over me. Denki. It's probably nothing. Mineta. Hey, have you guys noticed the look on Midoriya's face? Denki. Zero and Mineta look at Izuku to see him staring at his gauntlet with a blank face. Denki. He looks kinda lost. Zero. You think he's thinking about you know what? Mineta. Well, he's gonna be contacting them after this, so I guess it makes sense for him to be a bit nervous. Izuku continues to stare at his gauntlet until he gets hit in the back of the head by one of Kitsuki's mask spikes and falls to the ground bleeding. Kitsuki. Snap out of it, you're giving me the creeps. Sato. Ah, Midoriya. Hiroshima. Ah, this isn't good, he's leaking gray matter. After that whole ordeal, the class makes their way to the field where they begin their practical reports. Currently, Izuku can be seen eating cotton candy while waiting for his group's turn. He continues eating in silence until he feels a pinch and gets his cheek pulled. Izuku. Ow, 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 what are you doing, Sayu? Sayu uncamouflages herself to reveal her as the source of the pinching. Sayu. I noticed that you gave Achako-chan one of your earrings to hold. Izuku. Blush well, I owed her for helping me with Black Whip in the past. And I wanted to give her something as thanks so. Sayu. And what about your date with Melissa and Jiro-chan? Izuku. Blush that wasn't a date, I was simply offered a free dinner and decided to invite Melissa and Hatsum as thanks for helping me with my gear. Hatsum didn't want to go and Jiro happened to call me after that, so ow. Sayu. That's so. Izuku. Sayu-chan, are you perhaps mad at me? Sayu. Pulling harder am I? Izuku. Ow, alright. If it'll make you stop, I promise I'll do something special for you soon. Sayu lets go of Izuku's cheek and smiles a happy froggy smile at him. Sayu, thanks Izuku. I'll be looking forward to it. All Might. Young Midoriya, young Bakugo, young Todoroki, you're up next, get ready. Shoto. I'm ready. Itsuki. Deku, stop fooling around, get moving. Izuku. Alright, I'm coming. Izuku quickly finishes up his cotton candy and walks towards his teammates. He then puts on his bandana and equips his mouth mask as he stands beside them. Hey, let's go. After a quick and vigorous battle against robots, the three growing heroes successfully demonstrate their growth and power. All Might. Well done, young heroes. It's amazing to see you've all grown so much within just a week. Ajiro. After what we went through, it's only expected that we'd. Hiroshima. Yeah, it's cause we pushed ourselves to our limits this week. All Might. That's good to hear. Because you'll be breaking through those limits with what we've got planned. Nezu. Indeed, they will. The class turns around to see Principal Nezu and Midnight standing behind them. Iida. Principal Nezu. Nezu. It does my heart dear to see you've all gotten stronger. However, you all need to grow stronger still. Achako. Huh. Shoto. What do you mean? Kitsuki. What are you planning? Nezu. You'll all know soon enough. Go back to your dormitory and switch into more comfortable clothes. Everything will be explained then. Iida. But didn't school just start? Shouldn't we be getting back to class? Nezu. As your principal, I naturally believe that your education should come first, however, right now, your physical development takes priority. Class 1A, apart from a certain few, looks at Nezu confused by his words until a certain green it speaks up. Izuku. Let's see where this goes. Izuku walks past the group while avoiding their gazes. They all look at each other before deciding to follow Izuku back to the dorms. After returning to the dorms and changing clothes, the group move to the common area where they find Class B, Vlad, Nezu, Midnight, All Might, and a sword-wielding Izuku. In front of said individuals was an object covered by a cloth on the table, as well as some tea. Ichako. What's going on here? Kendo. They haven't said a word to us either. And why is Midoriya with them? Iida. I'm not sure. But he's been acting strange today. Itsuki. Oi, what the hell do you guys want from us? Iida. Darn it, Bakugo-kun, I look away for 1 minute and you start speaking inappropriately to the teachers. Nezu. It's quite alright. I did call you all here without an explanation after all. Nezu takes a sip of tea from the cup of tea Izuku pours for him. He then looks at the students with his beady eyes as he nods for Izuku to grab his sword. Nezu. For the next 3 years, you will become pirates and train under Midoriya's Straw Hat crew. The group of students have a variety of mixed expressions. From shocked to excited to scared to knowing to confused to angered. Itsuki. The hell. Why do I have to go train with Deku's shitty crew? Hiroshima. Whoa, does that mean we can grow to be as manly as Midoriya? Pony. That's so awesome, we get to explore a whole new world. Toru. I know. Koda. Boo, but what about all those scary monsters, like that giant seagull? Ajiro. Wait, it's the seagull you're scared of? Kendo. Principal, what will happen of our education? Nezu. Well, I can't say this wasn't expected. I did just tell you something rather unbelievable. Allow me to explain to you the method behind my madness. The students calm down a bit and proceed to listen in to Nezu speaking. Nezu. Due to circumstances, I can't tell you much. What I can tell you is that in 4 months, the future of our society will be at stake. The pro-heroes are already preparing for it. You, the next generation, will serve as the backup plan. Speaking honestly, if you continue to grow at your current rates, then there's a chance you may all die. The students can all feel their hearts drop from hearing this. Nezu hesitates from continuing as he can feel their shock. Nezu. To ensure your survival, I've asked Midoriya to contact his captain and ask for their help. Like he was, you are all hesitant at this proposal. You should know though, that 5 of you have already agreed to this. The classes look amongst themselves, surprised that some of them would agree to a plan like this. This continues until said students walk forward to stand next to Izuku. Mina. You guys. Mineta. Yeah, it was us who agreed. Pony. Shiozaki too. Nabara. Yes. Denki. If even we can go along with this plan, then you guys can too, right? Zero. Like us, you don't want to let Midoriya rush past you so easily. I'm looking at you too, Bakugo, Todoroki. Shoto and Kitsuki turn their gazes away as they know he's speaking the truth. Jiro. You have no reason to be scared. We'll be sailing with a crew that turned Midoriya into a one-man army. Nezu. And there you have it. These 5 have shown that they are quite brave. I hope you all can do the same. Although if you still doubt my decision, then just know this one fact. Originally, I planned to have you only train for 5 months like Midoriya. The one who suggested the training be for 3 years was Endeavor. Everyone. Hiroshima. The No.1 hero himself. Tetsutetsu. Thinks we're not man enough. Shoto. Endeavor. Itsuki. Endeavor. For the time being there'll be no escape from this training. Izuku. Let's hope things actually go the way he planned. Hey and S. So that's what they meant. Nezu. Of course, I am not forcing this on any of you. If you wish to remain here, then you may leave now. The students remain silent and stand firmly. Seeing this, Nezu smiles as he takes another sip. He is interrupted however, as one of the students slams their foot on the table. Kitsuki. As if I'd back down after hearing all that. If I just stay here then I'd be letting Deku get ahead of me. I refuse to be disgraced like that. Iida. Bakugo-kun. Shoto. I'm going as well. There are people that I wish to surpass. If I can break through my limits without his help then I'll do it. Monoma. Ha, don't expect us in Class B to pull away either, this is our chance to surpass Class A after all. Ichako. I'm going too. I want to grow stronger. Tetsutetsu. With this, I'm gonna man the hell up. Hiroshima. Me too. Iida. Sigh, I suppose it can't be helped. If I don't go with you all, how could I call myself a class president? Nezu. Ku. Is that enough to convince you, Midoriya? Izuku. I already agreed to this before, didn't I? Nezu. You might have agreed, but you still had your doubts and worries. I wanted to relieve you of them before we continued. It's what I do as your principal. Izuku. Well, I guess that's true. Anyways, shall I get started? Nezu. By all means, please do. Izuku stands up from the couch and draws his black sword. He hackifies his sword and slashes open a white portal in the air. Some of the others peer through the portal and can see an endless night sea. Izuku then proceeds to lift up the cloth to reveal a strange-looking snail. Itsuki. The hell is this ugly thing? Izuku. This is a transponder snail. It's pretty much the Grand Line equivalent to a cell phone. This one in particular is linked to the one on the ship. All I need to do is pick up the receiver and it'll contact the other one. Sigh. It looks kind of late though. Do you think your captain will pick up? Izuku. Well, let's hope he does. Izuku says as he picks up the receiver on the shell. The snail then begins to start making a ringing noise. After a long moment of silence, the line is picked up. The snail closes one of its eyes and has the other one halfway open. Beyond whoever this is, you better have a damn good reason for waking me up from my nap. Everyone seems taken back from the intimidating voice on the other end. Izuku on the other hand smiles as he recognizes the voice. Izuku. Sounds like you're taking things easy, Zoro-sensei. Zoro. Hama, whoa, smile Izuku, it's been a while, how have you been? Everyone. What a quick change in tone. Izuku. I've been doing fine, sensei. I've grown stronger since last we met too. Zoro. That's good to hear. It's been almost 4 months since you left. I'd expect you to get stronger if that much time passed. Izuku. Yeah, about that. Over here, it's actually only been a bit over a week. Zoro. I guess you were right in thinking that time might flow differently between worlds. Izuku. Sensei, are the others with you? It sounds kind of quiet. Zoro. Nope, there's a firework festival happening on the island we docked at. Me and Luffy stayed behind to watch the ship while the others went to go enjoy the festival. Izuku. Luffy-senpai is there. Do you mind if I talk to him? Zoro. Afraid that's a no-can-do. He's stuck in bed recovering. Izuku. Did something happen, is he sick or hurt? Zoro. Relax, he's fine. He got heavily injured in a fight round about 3 months ago. Izuku. Are his injuries serious? Usually he recovers after a few days. Zoro. He would have healed a lot sooner, but the Marines have seriously been coming after us lately. Every time we run into them, he ends up going too far and reopening his wounds. Matter of fact, he reopened his wounds this morning after rocketing through the town. Izuku. Sweat drop, well I guess that's to be expected from Luffy-senpai. Itsuki. This captain sounds like a dumbus. Zoro. So, what do you want to ask? Izuku. How could you tell? Zoro. I can hear it in your voice. Now spill it. I can just tell Luffy about it later. One explanation later. Zoro. I see, so, you and your friends need our help to prepare for an incoming tragedy. Izuku. That's pretty much it, yeah. So, what do you think? Zoro. Sure, we can train you. Izuku. Are you sure? Won't we be a problem for you guys? Zoro. You really think that? You know how much everyone loved to have you around. Robin would be glad to pamper you again. Izuku. Well, I'm not going to be coming back for the pampering. And are you sure Luffy-senpai would be alright with this? I really don't want to burden him if he's still recovering. And top it off, we want the training to last 3 years. Zoro. Of course he'd be alright with this. There's no way our captain would turn down a request from his own son. Everyone. Son. Zoro. Besides, we won't be moving around a lot for a while. And having another doctor on deck will be helpful. Izuku. Why? The snail glares to the side as it shows its teeth, which gives it an annoyed appearance. Zoro. Our captain got himself in an annoying situation. Izuku. What does that mean? Zoro. Well, you'll see when you get here. Anyways, how many of you are coming? Izuku. There'll be about 62 of us. Zoro. 62, huh? Alright, give us about 7 or 6 days. Frankie and Usopp should have something ready to transport you guys in by then. How about we meet in Dressrosa? That should be the furthest your sword'll take you to. Izuku. Sounds good to me. By the way, 2 of the 62 are children, so I was wondering. Zoro. Robin and Chopper will be happy to take care of them. 2 more kids won't be a problem. Izuku. Glad to hear that. Zoro. I'll tell the others about your call. I'll also contact Kairos and see if I can get him to let you guys stay at that castle in the meantime. Izuku. Tell them not to wait up. We've still got some things to do here. Zoro. Got it. Oh, and one more thing. Izuku? What? Zoro? Bring me a bottle of booze. It's not every day I get to taste liquor from another world. Izuku? Sure. Zoro? Yawn Yosh, I'm gonna head back to sleep. See you at Dressrosa. Izuku? See ya. The receivers are placed down on both ends of the call at the same time. Zoro leans back in the chair he's sitting on and smiles as prepares to doze back to sleep. He however is kept awake as he hears the kitchen door opening. He groans before looking to see who it was. Zoro? So you were awake. I'm guessing you heard all of that just now. You're okay with it, right? Shushy, of course I am. Back with Izuku. Izuku? So, there you have it. Nezu? That went rather smoothly. Midnight? Still, 8 days. How long would that be in our world's time? Nezu? I'm one step ahead of you. Taking into account that Midoriya's 2-week disappearance was 5 months, I was able to determine that 1 day here would be the equivalent to 10 days there. Glad. So by that logic, we'd at least need to wait about 6/10 of a day. Izuku? About 14.5 hours by my calculation. Nezu? We've got plenty of time to prepare then. Midnight, go and inform the others that things will proceed as planned. You students need to gather your things. You have until 10 tonight. I suggest you say your goodbyes to your families and meet back here before it's time to leave. We'll tell them you're going on a training getaway on a deserted island. Now I'd better go and make sure everything's okay with Izawa. Nezu says as he hops off the couch and walks out the building. All Might, Vlad and Midnight follow suit as Izuku sheathes his sword and closes the portal. Mina, hey Midori. Izuku? What is it? Mina? What did that guy mean when he said you were his captain's son? Izuku? Have I perhaps never told you all? Shoto? No. Now explain yourself. Izuku? Alright, calm down. It's not as complicated as you think. I drank from the Sun's Sake cup and have become Luffy Senpai's sworn son. First son of the Straw Hat Pirates, Midoriya Izuku. That's me. Hiroshima. The manliness, it's blinding. Ida. Midoriya-kun, you shouldn't be drinking alcohol at your age. Enki. Lighten up, it was probably one those small cups that the Yakuza used to use back in the day. Toru. So you're pretty much the future pirate prince. Izuku. I wouldn't exactly call myself that. That title will eventually belong to Luffy Senpai's blood descendant. But, I'll always call myself his son. I take pride in the fact that I can. Mina. I could feel that tug at my heartstrings. Ichako. That's really touching how much respect and loyalty you have for him. Izuku. Anyways, even though we've got nearly 15 hours left before we leave, we shouldn't spend it here. Like Principal Nezu said, we should say our goodbyes to our families. It'll be 3 years before we see them again. Ida. Midoriya-kun is right. We should say our farewells while we still can. But first let's gather our stuff and pack our gear. We meet back here before 10. The students nod towards each other before proceeding to go to their own dorms and rooms. Izuku on the other hand heads straight to the exit. Izuku. I wonder how mom is gonna feel about this. Later, at the Midoriya residence. Inko. The school is organizing a training retreat until the beginning of April. Izuku. Yeah. We'll be training on an uninhabited island. We're going to be completely isolated from the rest of the world. This'll allow us to grow stronger without distractions and break further past our limits. Inko. I see. Izuku. Izuku. You don't have to worry about our safety. There'll be teachers and heroes traveling with us to ensure we stay safe. Inko. No, it's not that. I'm just wondering why you're lying to me. Izuku. What do you mean? Inko. Honey, in case you forgot, you told me about your crew. And with you and your classmates going on a training retreat, it doesn't take a genius to put 2 and 2 together. Izuku. Oh, right. I guess it would be obvious since you already knew. Inko. It is. Now tell me why you'd go and lie to me about returning to your crew. Izuku. Well, I didn't want you worrying about me. You were so distraught when I finally got back home. I feel guilty for making feel that bad because of me. You're already aware of how dangerous the other world is, so I thought that telling you I'd return there would. Inko. Honey, I think you're the one who's worrying too much. Izuku. Inko. Naturally, I'm worried about you, but I don't want to hold you back from accomplishing your dreams. Besides, I know you'll be safe with that crew of yours. Izuku. Mom, thanks. Inko. Just promise me that you'll stay safe. Izuku. I will. As a matter of fact. Izuku reaches into his pocket and pulls out the note that he got from Kuzan. He tears off a piece of it and proceeds to hand it over to her. Izuku. Take this. Inko. What's this? Izuku. It's a Viver card. It represents my life force. Look, you can see it moving towards me. Inko. Wow, you're right. Izuku. I have one for my captain too. It'll stop moving once I cross over. But, as long as it's still intact, that means I'm alive. Inko. Thank you Izuku. This'll really put my mind to ease. Izuku. It's no problem mom. Inko. Since you've given me this, there's something I'd like to do for you. Izuku. What is it? 9:45 p.m, Heights Alliance. Classes 1 and B, as well as Aizawa, Vlad, All Might, Midnight and Nezu, can be seen gathered in the common area. Pacing around the group of students, Iida can be irritated while looking at his watch. Iida. Where is Midoriya-kun? It's almost time for us to depart. Ichako. Calm down, Iida-kun. I'm sure Deku's just busy with something. Jiro. Besides, he's got that teleport sword. No matter where he is in the world, he can get here in less than a minute. Iida. Still though, he should work to be here ahead of time. Especially since he's the one transporting us. Aizawa. Be quiet, it's too late to be hearing all this noise. Nezu. There's no need to be so cranky Aizawa. And there's no need to be in such a rush, young Iida. Knowing Midoriya, he'll show up before everyone else arrives. Itsuki. Everyone else. All Might. Yes, you youngsters aren't the only ones who are going for training. Sayu. Really? Who else is coming? Midnight. Well. Before Midnight can continue speaking, a portal suddenly opens up in the middle of the group. From the portal walks out Izuku. The group can see that he now wears a black scarf and his hair was now much shorter and tied again in a wolf tail. Izuku. Yo. Iida. Midoriya-kun, you're finally here. Zero. Don't just appear out of nowhere like that, you nearly gave me a heart attack. Izuku. Oh, sorry. Toru. Wow, you cut your hair. Izuku. Yeah, I can't go back to the crew looking as if I hadn't changed. Mina. That's too bad. We were going to give it Sayu hairstyle. Izuku. Yeah, no. I don't think I could make that look work. Hendo. What's with the scarf? Izuku. It was a gift from my mom. Apparently, it was my dad's. Shoto. Why does it smell like charcoal? Izuku. That's probably because of his quirk. Anyways, it looks the others are here. At that very moment, the front doors open up. Walking through them is the big three, wild hussy cats, Eri, Kota, Mei, Melissa, Shinso, Inasa, and Kami. Mirio. Alright, let's go. Ichako. You guys. Melissa. Surprised. Sayu. Yeah, Kinda. Inasa. Yo Yue, it's been a long time. Kami. Yo. Itsuki. The hell are you two doing here? Nezu. I sent Shiketsu an offer and they sent over 2 of their best students. Itsuki. No, I refuse to accept this, send them back. Nezu. I'm afraid I'll have to say no. Your opinion about them doesn't matter in the slightest. Shoto. Offering a hand Yurashi, it's been a while. Inasa. Shaking hand yeah. You changed so much, I barely recognized you. You, to Midoriya. Izuku. I'll take that as a compliment. And you must be. Izuku turns to face Kami, but stops as he sees her face. He continues to stare at her with a kind of startled look on his face. She tilts her head confused before moving closer to him. Kami. Something wrong? Izuku. And no, nothing at all. Momo. Eri and Kota are coming too. Mandalay. Well, we can't exactly leave Kota alone here by himself. Tiger. And I doubt he'd want to be separated from his hero again. Aizawa. I'm Eri's guardian. I don't plan on letting her out of my sight. Izuku. Knowing Principal Nezu, he probably thought that this would give her more time to master her quirk. Hey there, Eraserhead. Aizawa's eyes widen as he hears a familiar female voice. He looks behind him to see Ms. Joke. Ms. Joke. I'm here for our honeymoon. Aizawa stares at her for a moment with his dead eyes before turning his gaze to Nezu. Aizawa. Nezu, I wasn't told about this. Nezu. I figured you'd be less grumpy about it if I left it as a surprise for you. Vernon. Alright, I'm fired up and ready to go. Mount L. I'm so not looking forward to this. Muruko. Quit your whining bunny boy, let's get going already. Shoto. Vernon. And 2 more pros. Itsuki. This just keeps getting better and better. Izuku. Muruko-san, please don't call me bunny boy. Anyways, before we move on to the new world, there's something I need you all to understand. The moment we meet with Luffy-senpai and the others, you'll all become wanted pirates. Marines will come after you and people will fear you. Dressrosa will treat you differently than the rest of the world, so don't get used to their hospitality. If you can't handle the training, then I'll send you back here. Finally. Izuku draws his black sword and hackifies it. He then slices open a white portal right next to him. He turns back to face the group with a serious expression. Izuku. We Straw Hat Pirates will not tolerate any mutiny towards our captain. Remember that. With all that in mind, let us go. The group, still shaken from Izuku's statement, slowly make their way through the portal. Once everyone is on the other side, Izuku crosses over too and sheathes his sword to close the portal. The group scans their surroundings to see them standing in a large field of flowers at night. Eerie. Wow, so many flowers. Nezu. It really is quite beautiful. Itsuki. Where are we? Izuku. Dressrosa's Flower Hill. Welcome to the new world. It seems you've finally arrived, Izuku-san. The group look behind them to see the source of the voice. Standing in front of a large castle is a one-legged man, a young pink-haired maiden, and an elderly man. Izuku, it's been a while, Kairo-san, Riku-sama Rebecca. Kairos. You haven't changed a bit. Riku. Indeed, you're just as youthful as before. Izuku. Shishishi, thanks. I was hoping that I'd look a bit more mature though. All Might. Young Midoriya, are these friends of yours? Izuku. Oh, how rude of me. Allow me to introduce you. This is the legendary soldier, Kairo-san, Dressrosa's king, Riku-sama, and the king's granddaughter, Princess Rebecca. Rebecca. I'm not a princess anymore though. Ida. Royalty Bo, forgive us for not showing you respect accordingly. Momo. Bo, we deeply apologize and thank you for accommodating us. Riku. Ha ha ha, there's no need for apologies and thanks. We owe Izuku and his crew a great deal for all they've done for Dressrosa. Izuku. Has there been any sign of the crew? Kairos. No. They must have been caught up by the Marines or some other pirate group. Riku. You're welcome to stay in the castle until they arrive. Nezu. Thank you. We'll make use of your hospitality. Riku. Then let us get you inside. We don't want you freezing up now, do we? The group proceed to follow the three into the castle situated in the middle of the flower field. Upon entering the castle, they are met with several maids, as well as a dark-haired woman wearing a white dress. Greetings. I am the active princess of Dressrosa, Viola. It is a pleasure to have you in our castle. Nezu. And thank you for allowing us to rest here. Viola. These maids will show you all to rooms in which you can sleep for the night. Mineta. A maid showing me to my room? Could this lead to? Izawa. We all know what you're thinking, and if hear one complaint from any of the maids, expulsion will be the least of your worries. Understood. Mineta. Why yes, sensei. This joke. Aw, lighten up on the kid, Eraserhead. Why so serious? Kairos. To Izuku, quite the interesting group you've brought along with you. Izuku. You should expect nothing less when you consider who's my captain. Yeah, Luffyland likes people like these guys. The group look around as they hear an unknown voice coming from seemingly nowhere. Mina. Who said that? Down here. The group look to their feet to see two small human-like dwarves with tails. Itsuki. The rats here look pretty weird. We're not rats. Izuku. It's been a while, Leo, Princess Manchuri. Leo. It's great to see you too, Izuland. Manchuri. It's truly been too long. Sai. Izuku-kun, do you know them? Izuku. Yeah, they're members of the Tontatta tribe. A race of dwarves that inhabit the nearby island Greenbit. This lovely lady is Princess Manchuri. Izuku says as Manchuri proceeds to jump and land onto Erie's hands. Manchuri. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Erie. Cute. Mina. Aw, she's so adorable. Najire. She's like a literal fairy from all those old fairy tales. Toru. Do you mind if I try petting your tail? Amy. Do you want some candy? Leo. I don't get what's so cute, I'm pretty sure she's older than most of you. Manchuri. Slap hey. Leo. Ow. Izuku. You should have thought before you said that. Shoto. Okay, so we know this one is the princess, but what about the green one? Leo. I'm Leo. Captain of the Tontatta Pirates, the 5th ship of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. All Might. Grand Fleet. Izawa. I thought there were only 10 of you Straw Hat Pirates. Izuku. There are. The Grand Fleet is a self-proclaimed group of 7 powerful pirate crews who, like me, drank the Sun Cup of their own accord and swore allegiance to Luffy Senpai. Their total numbers exceed about 5,500 members. Enki. Whoa, 5,500. Zero. That's crazy. Koda. That's so cool. Momo. Wait, if they all drank from the cup like you, why are they self-proclaimed? Leo. We drank from the cup, but Luffyland didn't accept us. The only one he accepted was the young master here. Izuku. Hey now, what are you doing calling me that? Leo. That's what Bardo said we should call you. You're Luffyland's son after all. Izuku. You can just call me Izuku. You know how I feel about all this title nonsense. Leo. Oh, sorry about that. By the way, there are actually 9 crews in the fleet now. Izuku. Huh, really? What are they like? Leo. I haven't really met with them yet. The 8th crew is called the Sun Pirates. They're a crew made up of fishmen. I don't remember the name of the 9th crew, but they're a new pirate crew and their captain is a super strong guy. Izuku. They definitely sound interesting. I hope I can get to meet them soon. Eri and Kota. Yawn. Mandalay. Sounds like it's bedtime. Izuku. It is kind of late. The crew will probably be here tomorrow so we should get some rest. Rebecca. Yeah, we'll be heading to bed too. By the way, Izuku-san. Izuku. What is it, Rebecca-chan? Rebecca. Rebecca looks down as she starts pushing her index fingers against each other while Izuku looks at her with a confused expression. Rebecca. Do you think I'll get to meet with Lucy tomorrow? Izuku. Oh, is that it? I'm sure he'll be happy to spend with you. Rebecca. Smile. Really? I'm glad. I'll be looking forward to tomorrow then. Rebecca, as well as Leo and Manchuri, wave goodnight before moving to their room. Mina. Oh, seems like romance is on her mind. Pyros. Romance. Ichako. Deku, who's the Lucy she was talking about? Izuku. Oh, that's the name Luffy-senpai was known as when he met Rebecca-chan. We were busy on a mission so our identities couldn't be made public. Anyways, let's go to bed. It's been a long day. The group say their goodnights to each other before following the maids to their rooms. The next day. Everyone is sleeping peacefully in their beds until they are woken abruptly by the loud sound of cawing. The students get up and groggily make their way to the source of the noise, while the adults try to sleep in further. Hitsuki. What the hell is that noise? Shoto. Yawn. I think it's coming from outside. The group exit the castle and look to try and find the source of the noise. They walk around to the back of the castle where they find Leo and Manchuri with a giant raven sitting inside a nest. Manchuri. Oh, you're all awake. Hitsuki. What the hell is that feathered noise machine? May. That's Midoriya's bike, Kuro. Inasa. That doesn't really look like a bike to me. Melissa. It has the power of a devil fruit. It's really complicated to explain. Hitsuki. You damn bird, shut the hell up before I bake you into a pie. The bird grows angry and caws angrily at Kitsuki, who yells louder in response. The two continue until Tokoyami intervenes. Tokoyami. My fellow dark-winged entity, please forgive the arrogance of my classmate. Kuro looks at Tokoyami for a minute before nodding its head. Tokoyami then pets its head as Dark Shadow feeds it an apple found inside the nest. Kawaro. Those two sure bonded easily. Hirota. By the way, this is Sir Midoriya's bird bike, right? Where is he? Leo. He left this morning saying he wanted to do some training. He also said he left breakfast for everyone in the kitchen. Mirio. Breakfast. Oni. Made by Midoriya. Toru. Alright. Mina. To the kitchen. Mina yells as the group of starving students run back inside. They make their way to the kitchen where Eri, Kota, and the other adults can be found already eating. They join in without saying a word as they too begin to pig out. After a very messy breakfast, the group finally satisfy their stomachs. Komori. That was really satisfying. Boruko. Damn, who knew the kid could cook this well? Vernon. It's like heaven on my taste buds. Pyros. I had heard Izuku-san could cook, but this is beyond expectations. By the way, where is he? Leo. He went out training. Pyros. Oh, when did he leave? Leo. Early this morning, before the sun rose. Pyros. I see. In that case, can I ask you all to check up on him? Jiro. Huh, why? Pyros. He tends to take his training too far. During his recovery from his encounter with Blackbeard, he always snuck out in the mornings for training. He returned in the evenings with his bandages stained red and his body ice cold. Enki. Yeah, that's definitely a red flag. Ajiro. Any idea where he trains? Pyros. I heard from Robin-san that he liked to train in a secluded section of the coastline. I'll write down the location. Nezu. Okay then. You students can go check up on Midoriya along with Eri and Kota. The rest of us will go explore the town. Students, yes sir. Eventually. The students close in on the location Kairos had written down for them. There was a noticeable chill in the air which caused many of the students to shiver. Melissa. It's really cold here. Shinso. How can Midoriya train in these temperatures? Inasa. That soldier man did say he always came back nearly frozen. Could this place be the reason why? Mineta. The rest of the island is warm though, so it doesn't make sense. Eri. Pointing, what's that? The group of students look ahead to where Eri is pointing and can see a large tower-like object. The object then seems to fall forward for a moment before returning back to its position. Curious, the group moves closer. They find some stairs carved into the coast and descend. Once they reach the bottom of the stairs, they can see Izuku in nothing but a pair of shorts which work to reveal the burn scars that stretch from his feet to his knees, with a massive weight held in his teeth, and the tower as a massive weight held like a sword in Izuku's hand. The ocean in front of Izuku was for several miles frozen. Izuku continues to swing the giant weight down, despite blood being seen dripping from the handle of the weight. Izuku lifts the weight up one last time above his head, before swinging it down onto the ice and shattering it. Izuku sighs before removing the weight in his mouth and picking up his black sword left on the ground and slicing open a portal. It is at this point that Izuku notices the others. Izuku. Oh, hey guys, I'm surprised you found this place. Shinso and Kitsuki. Covering Eri and Koda's ears. What in the nine hells have you been doing here? Izuku. Huh? What do you mean? Denki. The majority of the visible sea is frozen. Izuku. Oh that. I was just trying to figure out a new technique. It involves using my snow sword. Sigh. I guess that explains all the ice. But what happened to your legs? Izuku. I told you I got used to the heat of Diable Jam, didn't I? I had to expose my feet and legs to extreme heat. Inasa. Diable Jam, what's that? Izuku. Oh, it's this. Izuku says as he ignites his right leg in flames for a moment. Inasa. Whoa, that's crazy, that's really only the result of training. Izuku. Sure is. Kirishima. What's with those giant weights? Izuku. They're the weights Zoro-sensei and I used to train our arms and jaws for Santoryu, Notoryu, and Itoryu. Toru. I'm surprised you haven't broken your jaw from that. Izuku uses his black whip to pick up the heavy weights and put them through the portal. He then picks up and puts on his tank top that was left on a rock and wraps his bleeding hands in bandages. Izuku. Did you guys enjoy the breakfast? Melissa. Yeah, it was really delicious. Inasa. It's amazing how you can get bacon and eggs to taste that good. Amy. I can't wait to eat more. Izuku. Glad to hear that you guys liked it. Izuku smiles just before his stomach starts grumbling. He then blushes and sheepishly rubs the back of his head. Izuku. How about I show you guys some of Dressrosa's sights and grab some food? Sigh. Sounds good to me. Following Izuku's lead, the group begin their tour of Dressrosa in the port town of Acacia. While walking through the town, the group can see the people conversing peacefully with each other and hear the sound of music and dancers. Children wearing straw hats can be seen running through the streets and playing with the tontata. Najire. All the children are wearing straw hats. Koda. I want one. Eri. Me too. Hendo. Are they emulating your captain? Izuku. Yeah. Luffy-senpai is seen as Dressrosa's savior after all. Inasa. Your captain must be a great man. Izuku. He is. He helps people without being asked and expects nothing in return. He stops at nothing and always pushes his body past its limits for the sake of others. He fears no one and charges on bravely. Kirishima. Whoa, so manly. Izuku. Well, I can't exactly say he fears no one. Hendo. What do you mean by that? Izuku. Like all men of the Straw Hat Pirates, he fears Nami-san. Ryuko. The navigator. Why? Izuku. Shivers, she's scary when she's mad. Monoma. So, the heroic pirate worth 500 million is scared of an itty-bitty navigator. Oh, how tra. Hendo. Chop, don't open your mouth if you're going to say something snarky. Inasa. I don't really know, but your captain is strong, isn't he? Izuku. Yeah, he's super strong. Shoto. That doesn't really help to understand how strong he is. Izuku. Oh, well, let me put it this way. When it comes to skill level and technique, I'm outclassed by everyone in the crew. But, in an all-out fight, there's only 3 of the crew I can't beat. Luffy-senpai, Zoro-sensei, and Sanji-san. Out of the 3 of them, Sanji-san was the only one who fought me seriously. The longest I've managed to last against Luffy-senpai is about 7 minutes. And for that fight, he hadn't even used Haki. Denki. Dang, you're telling me you couldn't even last 10 minutes against him going easy on you? Izuku. Yeah, if I had to say, Luffy-senpai is most definitely stronger than Endeavor. Amy. Well, if he's stronger than you then of course he's stronger than Endeavor. Considering that you yourself managed to take him down. Izuku. Yeah, but now I've got control of my second gear. I'm sure I can put up a decent fight against Luffy-senpai now. Amy. What second gear? Izuku. Oh right, you two don't know about that. Well, second gear is my man. Move. Izuku is interrupted by a group of people running in front of him and the others. Izuku looks to see the group running into a large Colosseum where other people were gathered at the entrance. Sato. What's that? Izuku. That's Kurita Colosseum. Battle royales are held in there with a chance winning a prize on the line. Kirishima. Gladiator matches. Tetsu. That's like the epitome of manliness. Zero. What kind of prizes do they offer? Izuku. Well, the last time I was here, they offered up the flare fruit as a prize. But I'm pretty sure that was a one-time thing. Shoto. So they'll offer up devil fruits, eh? Could that be why everyone is so amped up to see the fights? Izuku. I don't know. Let's find out. The group moves to the Colosseum in trance. Izuku steps forward to speak with one of the Colosseum staff. Izuku. Excuse me. What's today's prize? People seem to really want to get their hands on it. Vale staff. Oh, it's an elusive rainbow gem. Izuku. Rainbow gem? It's a rare man-made gem that embraces all colors of the rainbow. Mirio. Since when are gems man-made? Babara. And if it is man-made, why is it considered rare? Female staff. It was created artificially by a brilliant scientist and his two daughters. Those three are the only ones who know how to create them so they can be considered rare. One is worth about 300 million Beely. Izuku. 300 million. Fitsuki. How's it feel knowing some rock is worth more than you, Deku? Izuku. Hey, there's no need to rub it in. F staff. Deku. Could you be? M staff. The false hero. Izuku. Yeah, that's me. M staff. It's truly a pleasure meet someone of your caliber, sir. Izuku. Sir. F staff. It would be an honor to have you fight in today's match. Izuku. I didn't really come here for that. M staff. We beg you please, sir. Seeing one of the heroes who saved Dressrosa fight here would surely put a smile on everyone's faces. Izuku. Mirio. I say go for it. Putting a smile on the faces of everyone, isn't that what you want? Izuku. Yeah, wait, that's it, alright, I guess there's no reason to say no. M staff. Great, come with me, I'll take you to the fighters preparations room. F staff. The rest of you can enter the stands free of charge. Enki. Yay, perks for knowing someone. Izuku. See you guys in the arena. Izuku says as he and the staff member enter the Colosseum. The others then enter through the audience entrance. After finding their seats in the front row, the group waits for the match to begin. After a small moment, a metal bridge connects to the floating stage. One by one the fighters walk across the bridge and onto the stage. The massive large screens turn on as the announcer begins announcing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kurita Colosseum. I am your announcer, Gats. Today we've got something special in store for you all. A 100-man free-for-all with a 300 million Beely gem on the line. Crowd. Loud cheering. Mineta. They sure are fired up for this. Hiroshima. Of course they are. Tetsu. It's a super manly battle royal. You all know the rules. If you're rendered unconscious or knocked into the water, then you're disqualified. Remember the risk of falling into the water, though the fighting fish are extra hungry today. Enki. The heck is a fighting fish? It is at that moment that a giant carnivorous-looking fish jumps out of the water and scares half the group to death. Titsuki. Takes more than a fish to scare me. And that's not all, we have a very special competitor here today. At that moment, a lone figure wearing a black scarf and golden gladiator helmet walks onto the bridge. The cameras focus on his back and transmit the image of his tattoo onto the monitors. The faces of the crowd start smiling and cheering as they recognize the mark. There he is, wearing the same helmet his father once wore on his back. You can see the mark of our hero Lucy. While Izuku is walking, two fighting fish jump out of the water and try to attack him. Izuku, without stopping, unleashes a small wave of Conqueror's hockey and knocks the fish out. The man worth 440 million and hero labeled as false, Deku, the first son of Lucy. Crowd. Louder cheering. Izuku. My bounty went up quite high. The crew must have done something crazy while I was gone. Toru. Wow, he's like a celebrity here. Momo. Well, his captain is the island savior. Now, without further ado, let the 100-man battle royal begin. The loud bell resounds throughout the arena to signal the beginning. Immediately, two axe-wielding men charge at Izuku. GUI-1. Don't take it personally, kid. GUI-2. It's just that your head is worth more than the rock. Before the two men can bring their axes down, Izuku disappears right before their eyes. The two look around before they both feel impact at the back of their necks and pass out. Izuku. Did you underestimate me because I'm young? You should know that youth is a dangerous weapon. And just like that, we have our first two knockouts. Amy. Whoa, what just happened? Anasa. I couldn't even see him move. Izuku draws his blackened snow and proceeds to point them at the other fighters. Izuku. I decided to fight here, so I'm not going to lose. But you can at least try and put up a fight. Fighters. Don't get cocky. The whole group of angered fighters proceed to charge at Izuku with their weapons raised. Izuku sighs before holding his two swords over his shoulder. He then makes a circular swing and fires off two large compressed air projectiles that blast the incoming group into the water. Izuku. Nanagaki Niju pound ho. That's unbelievable, 20 fighters eliminated by a single attack. Izuku. Sheathing, you guys should have thought before attacking me. Fighter. And you should have sheathed your weapons. Izuku jumps back to avoid a hammer getting swung at him. Izuku then jumps up to avoid a horizontal sweep and lands on the hammer. Izuku. Who says I need weapons to fight? The fighter shakes Izuku off his hammer and holds it above his head. Izuku smirks as he holds his arm up to the hammer. The fighter brings his hammer down onto Izuku's hand but is shocked to see Izuku unfazed by the attack, as well his hammer indented by Izuku's arm. Izuku. Ninja art. Awoken steel body. Ichako. What was that? Sai. It doesn't look like hockey. It's one of Eji's techniques. Sai looks behind them to find Mount Lady as well as the other adults behind them. Enki. What are you guys doing here? Nezu. We were interested by this Colosseum and decided it was worth checking out. Momo. I see. By the way, you said that was Edshot's technique, correct? Mount L. Yeah, developed by Eji himself. The kid learned how to do that from him. Shoto. He learned how to do that in just the 3 days he interned under Edshot. Mount L. No, he had 5 days to learn it. He'd show up after hours for special training lessons with Eji. He may not have mastered Eji's techniques yet, but he's pretty darn good at them. Back to the fight. Izuku. Hey, this hammer is made of iron, isn't it? I guess my skill level lets me resist against iron. Thanks for helping me test it out. But I'm gonna have to knock you out now. Izuku says as he powers up with full cowling. He delivers a punch to the fighter's gut with his free fist and twists his arm. With one final push, Izuku sends the fighter flying into the water. Izuku. Alright, who's next? We are. Izuku looks around him to see a bunch of guys dressed in black and holding daggers circling around him. Izuku. The heck are you guys? And how didn't I notice you circle around me? DHUG-1. We are the 13 Thieves. We're masters of stealth. DHUG-2. We can slip in undetected through the crack in a person's focus. DHUG-3. Not even observation hockey users can detect us. Izuku. I see. I guess that's kind of impressive. DHUG-4. Glad you think so. Now give up your head. The thugs all jump at Izuku with their daggers ready to stab downwards. Izuku crosses his arms and closes his eyes. He then hackifies his upper and blocks all the daggers. Izuku. Gotcha. Green electricity swirls around Izuku's body before turning black. Black whip needles pierce through each of the 13 thugs' torsos. Izuku. Ninja art. 1000 sheet pierce 13-fold. Izuku retracts the black whips, which causes all 13 thugs to fall to the floor unconscious. Izuku. You'll all be fine. I don't plan on taking any lives today. Anyways, with you guys down there's only about 63 fighters left. That's. My goodness, we've reached the final 20 much faster than anticipated. Who is this incredibly agile fighter? Izuku. Huh. We're down to 20 already. Hey bunny boy. Izuku looks behind him to see Maruko standing in the distance surrounded by a bunch of unconscious and beaten fighters. Izuku. Maruko-san. Najire. Why is she fighting in the arena? Nezu. Well, when she heard there was a fighting competition, she insisted that she take part. And none of us had the energy to deal with her. Maruko. Let's fight, you and me. Izuku. Why? Maruko. I asked you before, didn't I? I wanna see you fight at full strength the same way you did against that shrimp. Izuku. I don't really want to fight against you though. Maruko. You ain't got a choice. If you wanna win then you gotta take me down. Izuku. Sigh, alright. Izuku spreads his legs, places his left fist on the ground and his right hand on his right knee. Izuku. I won't fight you. But I will end things with my next attack. Gear second. Izuku says as his body begins bulking up. The hockey markings then too begin forming on his body. Izuku stands up to lock eyes with Maruko as they both smirk at each other. Then without saying anything, Izuku jumps up into the air. He uses skywalk to keep reaching higher and higher. He stops once he's a good distance above the stadium. Izuku. This is the end. Izuku says as he begins using skywalk to descend rapidly at high speeds like a meteor. He then starts spinning with his leg outstretched. Toru. Wow, that's the move he used on Gang Orca. Izawa. Except he's doing it from that height. Maruko. Bring it on. Maruko braces herself for the incoming attack. However, she is shocked as Izuku avoids her and plants his heel into the stage. The impact causes the ring to break apart and send all the fighters flying into the air. While in the air, Maruko tries to land on her back on a piece of rubble. However, Izuku appears in the air above her with his arm cocked back. Izuku. Sorry about this. Izuku then fires an open-palmed black whip into Maruko's stomach and sends her straight into the water. Using Skywalk, Izuku lands on a piece of the stage rubble. The sound of a bell resounds once again to signify the end of the brawl. That's. And we have a winner, the false hero reigns supreme. Izuku. YAHHH. Small time skip. Outside of the stadium, the group of adults and students can be seen gathered by the entrance. Izuku himself is holding up his new rainbow gem up to his eye. Izuku. Wow, I've never seen a gem like this before. Sai. It's so pretty. Izuku. Yeah, it sure is. Tsai, well, here you go. Sai. You're giving it to me? Izuku. Yeah. Mina. Hey, how come she gets it? Toru. Yeah, why not me? Pony. Or me. Izuku. Well, I did owe her and figured the gem would be a good gift. Sai. Thank you, Izuku-kun. Boruko. Bunny boy, you owe me a fight. Izuku. Alright, I said I was sorry, didn't I? And didn't I promise you I'd spar against you when we had time? Boruko. Yeah. Izuku. Then there you have it. So stop acting like that, please. Grumble ah. Shoto. Sounds like someone worked up an appetite. Izuku. Yeah, I guess I could go for a bite. I know this restaurant that makes tasty food. I'll lead the way. Koda. I want ice cream. Iri. I want apple juice. Izuku. Shishi, I'll make sure to you both one of each. Midoriya Izuku. The entire group can suddenly sense an intense presence coming from behind them. The pressure was so strong that it was preventing some of them from actually moving. Izuku himself was breaking out in a cold sweat. Izuku looks down at the ground to see that the shadow the figure casted covered the whole group. Izuku slowly turns around and looks up to see the figure. His glare was menacing, physique was impressive, and his height itself was intimidating. He wore a leather vest as well as white scarf. He then spoke in an indifferent tone. That's you, isn't it? Chapter 9. That's you, isn't it? The entire group was frozen in place. Izuku was staring into the eyes of the hulking and menacing figure. Izuku? Who the hell is this guy? How does he know my name? The figure narrows his eyes and gives Izuku a complete look over. The cross-shaped scar across the left eye, green hair, burned legs, scared arms, and 2 golden earrings on one ear. A perfect match aside from the hair. Izuku? He's looking for me? A bounty hunter perhaps? But that description of me, you can't know all that about me just from my wanted poster. Either way, I need to be careful here. I can tell from first glance that he's much stronger than me. Izuku slowly reaches for his blue sword while trying not to be noticed. The figure however notices what Izuku is trying to do. Attacking me with that sword will only result in it getting shattered. Izuku flinches from the warning but grips his sword regardless. He turns his eyes to Shoto who meets his gaze. Izuku sharpens his eyes and Shoto nods his head as understands Izuku's signal. Shoto uses his quirk to freeze the ground and encase the figure's legs in ice. The figure remains calm, showing no sign of worry. Izuku then throws his black sword to Ichako, blue sword at the figure who leans out of the way and jumps into the air while hackifying and powering up his arm. Ichako. Deku. Izuku. Run guys, get to the castle, I'll see you there later. Izuku yells as he punches the figure in the chest. To his surprise though, his hand passes right through and gets stuck as the figure's chest transforms into a sticky goo. Sai. Izuku. Izuku. What the? The punch like that'll have no effect on me. Izuku. TCH. Tact. Using a thin black whip that he emitted earlier, Izuku pulls back his snow sword and tries for a sneak attack. Izuku looks up to see the figure narrowing his eyes. He is shocked to see the figure's eyes glow red. The figure's torso then turns into the white goo and opens up to allow the sword to pass through him. This also allows Izuku get free and catch his sword. He then jumps back so he's standing in front of the group. The figure lifts his legs and easily walks out of the ice as if it was nothing. Izuku. This guy has definitely got a devil fruit. I can't hit him and it looks like that goo can stick to things. Looks like I don't have many options here. Izuku slowly raises his sword while opening his mouth. He holds the back of the blade between his teeth. Izuku. I need to give the others the time they need to escape. The figure's eyes glow red once more as he speaks up. You're not thinking rationally now, are you? Izuku. Huh. Use your hockey. You should be able to tell that I've no intention of fighting. Katsuki. The hell, don't screw with us. Kirishima. Yeah, you just. What exactly did I do? I simply approached you. You two on the other hand attacked me without provocation. I merely dodged your attacks without striking back. All Might. You know he's actually right. From what I heard, I expected you to be more rational than this. Jumping in headfirst without a plan, you're more like him than I thought. Izuku? Him. Hatakuri-san, there you are. Oh, and it looks like you found Izuku-san and his friends. Izuku calms down and sheathes his sword as he hears a familiar voice coming from behind the figure. Honestly, I wish you'd waited for me. With a face as intimidating as yours I knew. From behind the figure now known as Katakuri, a familiar skeletal face peeks out. Brook. You'd scare the children. CAMIE and Mount L. AII. His joke. Ah, it's Skeletor. Izuku. Smile Brook-san. Brook. Crying hugging Izuku-san, it's so good to see you after so long you haven't changed at all. Izuku. It's good to see you too Brook-san. Jiro. Oh, that guy's the musician, isn't he? Mina. Yeah, the Soul King, I think. Brook. Oh how rude of me. I've failed to introduce myself. I'm Soul King Brook, musician of the Straw Hat Pirates. It's a pleasure to meet you all. And if it's no trouble to you fine ladies, may I please see your panties? Girls? Huh. Izuku. Brook-san no. Hatakuri. This is why I wanted to move alone. Izuku. Sorry about Brook-san girls. I guess I should have warned you about his habit of asking that. Jiro. Yes, you should have. Brook. My, what a strange looking group of people you've brought with you Izuku-san. Vernon. As if you're one to talk. Brook. Oh, my goodness your hair is on fire. Is that a quirk like Izuku's? Vernon. Yeah, it is. Brook. Wow, how interesting. A real eye-widening sight. Not that I have eyes, yo-ho-ho-ho. His joke. Ha, a skeleton joke I love it, very rib-tickling. Brook. Yo-ho-ho-ho, looks like someone's got a funny bone. SHINSO and Azawa. God end our suffering. Hatakuri. Oi, skeleton, did you tell the others where we are? Brook. Yes. I used the mini transponder snail and told them we were in front of the Colosseum. Izuku. The rest of the crew is here too. Brook. Yes, we arrived here earlier and went to the castle. We heard from Kairos that you all went into town and decided to split up into groups to search for you. And as you can see, we found you first. Hatakuri. The others should be here shortly. Izuku. I see. By the way who are you? Brook. Oh, that's right, you two have never met each other. Hatakuri. I am Charlotte Katakuri, captain of the Charlotte Pirates. Brooks. He also commands the 9th ship of Luffy-san's fleet. Izuku. Alarmed Charlotte. Ichako. What's wrong Deku? Izuku. Charlotte is the family name of Big Mom, one of the 4 emperors. Hatakuri. 7. Izuku. Huh. Hatakuri. Since your departure, 3 pirates have risen to power and claimed the title of emperor. The 7 most wanted and most notorious pirates in the world, the 7 emperors. Izuku. No way. Brook. We've got a few minutes till the others arrive, perhaps we should catch you up on everything that's happened since you left. Katakuri-san, would you do the honors of explaining? Hatakuri. Fine. I'll sum this up, learn the finer details from someone else. Immediately after your departure, the remaining members of the Straw Hat Pirates divided into 2 groups and went to 2 separate locations. The first group, led by Straw Hat Luffy, traveled to Whole Cake Island in order to bring Vince McSanji back to the crew. Meanwhile, the other team under the lead of Roronoa Zoro traveled to the land of Wano. In order to save Blackleg and his family, Straw Hat formed a temporary alliance with the Fire Tank Pirates and agreed to assist with their plan to assassinate my mother, Big Mom. The assassination failed, but Straw Hat and the Fire Tanks, along with the Vinsmix, managed to escape. I was already waiting at their ship to ambush them. To ensure that his crew could escape, Straw Hat transported the 2 of us in a pocket dimension, using the devil fruit power of my sister. We fought against each other for over 10 hours in there. In the beginning, he was no match for me. But he kept rising until he reached my level. At the end of it all, we were both beaten close to the point of death and he was the last one of us to remain standing. After that, Straw Hat and his crew managed to escape Mama's territory and headed straight to Wano. From there, they allied together with the warriors wanting to return Wano to its former and started planning to take down the Emperor Kaido, the king of the beasts. Unbeknownst to all of them however, Mama and several of my siblings had made their way to Wano and had formed an alliance with Kaido to kill Straw Hat. Izuku. So much happened while I was gone, the crew went through so much without my help. Brook. Don't go feeling bad now. Things worked out alright in the end and if you'd stayed there's no telling how badly your body would have gotten injured. All Might. By the way, how did it all end? Hatakuri. With the fall of Big Mom and Kaido. Mama was defeated by Straw Hat with the aid of Kaido's daughter, Yamato. Izuku. Why would the daughter of Kaido help Luffy senpai? Katakuri. Hell if I know. Apparently, she wanted to free the land of Wano from her father. She'd also taken a liking him because he apparently reminded her of his brother, Ace. You'll be able to hear her reasoning from her own mouth soon enough. Izuku. Is that so? Katakuri. At any rate, she'd gotten what she wanted. The combined forces of the three pirate captains, Eustace Captain Kidd, Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, and Monkey D. Luffy, were able to defeat Kaido and free the land of Wano. And as a result, the three of them came to be known as emperors. Izuku. In just 4 months as expected from Luffy senpai. Shoto. That's a monstrous growth right there. Shoji. Although that should be expected considering he trained Midoriya and turned him into this in just 5 months. Izuku. Haha. Burnin. For a pirate to be saving people like that, it's kind of unexpected. Brook. Well, it is only natural for you to think that considering pirates have a negative stigma attached to them. Izuku-san thought the same thing too. Izuku. Luffy senpai is the kind of person who can't just stand seeing people in trouble. All Might. He's really noble despite being so young. Brook. Indeed he is, my fellow skeleton. All Might. I'm not a skeleton. Brook. Gasp really. My goodness, you really need to see a doctor or put some meat on your bones, then, yo-ho-ho-ho. Nezu. He's right, you know. Izawa. Yep. Midnight. Agreed. All Might. Defeated. Pitsuki. Hey, Leatherman. Katakuri. What is it? Pitsuki. What exactly did all of that have to do with you? Shoto. You're the son of Big Mom, aren't you? Why is it you're now on our side? Katakuri. I left the Big Mom pirates. Shoto. Why? Katakuri. After hearing of Mama's defeat in Wano, I decided it was time. I gathered all of my youngest siblings aboard a ship and decided to escape. Many of my other siblings joined me and decided they too wanted to escape from Mama's subjugation. Of course, some of them wouldn't betray Mama and stayed. After escaping, I eventually ran into Straw Hat. He offered to help me and provided the children with a home where Mama wouldn't find them. Soon after, I somehow ended up being known as a part of his fleet by some green-haired idiot. And, as a traitor to my family. Pony. That's so sad. Toru. And sweet. Mount L. What a good brother. Pitsuki. Softies. Shoto. Why though? Why would you betray your own mother? Katakuri. Answer me this. Do you believe someone who tries killing their own children can be considered a parent? Shoto. Katakuri. That's what I thought. To her, we're nothing more than pawns for her to strengthen her military might. We either do as we're told or pay the price. At least now, we have real freedom. Kirishima. Crying that's so manly it's sad. Tetsutetsu. Crying I know. Pitsuki. Man up the both of you. Sai. Is your crew here, Katakuri-san? Katakuri. No. They're currently transporting the children to their new home. Sai. I see. By the way, you fought against Izuku's captain, right? That must mean you're really strong. Especially considering you were both near death at the end. Katakuri. Of course. You need to be strong in order to survive in the new world. Sai. Incidentally, what is your bounty? Katakuri. My current bounty is 1.56 billion Beely. Izuku. Choke B billion. Shinso. That's on a whole nother scale compared to the bounties we've seen so far. Brook. Impressive isn't it? Katakuri-san's bounty is higher than all of our bounties. Well, aside from Luffy-san and Zoro-san's. Ichako. Their bounties are even higher. Brook. Indeed. In fact, Zoro-san's bounty happens to be 1.92 billion. Izuku. Denki. That's literally 6 times the old one. Zero. How is it even possible to increase your bounty that much so quickly? Monoma. Freaking monsters, the lot of them. Kendo. Slap be quiet. Izuku. What about Luffy-senpai? How high is his? Brook. Well Luffy-san's bounty is actually I think I might have a wanted poster of him. 1 second. Brook reaches into his coat and manages to pull out a wanted poster. He then proceeds to hand the poster over to Izuku. Izuku takes the poster and looks it over. After a few moments, the poster and Izuku's hand start shaking as a goofy smile starts forming on his face. Curious, the others gather around him to see the poster. Their eyes then widen as they see the bounty on the poster. Everyone. 5 billion. Theory? Whoa. Koda. Amazing. Denki. This one's 10 times as much. Izuku. Smiling, this is the bounty of an emperor. All Might. I've heard of the power of youth, but this is ridiculous. Boruko. I can tell he's monstrously strong from that bounty alone. I wonder how I stack against him. Katakuri. You should all be ecstatic, you're now sailing with the highest living bounty in the world. Shinso. The highest, no way. Izuku. I can't help but smile. Brook. Yo-ho-ho, the rest of us feel the same. You should have seen the look on Luffy-san's face when he saw it. He couldn't stop smiling for the entire day. Midnight. It's hard to believe that any pirate wouldn't be happy to receive a bounty like that. Brook. Yeah. We ended up partying until the next day because of it. Izuku. I wonder how long I can last against him now. Brook. Smile. Luffy-san said you might want to see that. Hadakuri. He's been resting and recovering for the entire 8-day travel here. He said he wanted to give you a real challenge. Izuku. Shushi, I'm excited. Itsuki. Boy, Izuku. Izuku turns around hearing a familiar voice and can see a very familiar figure running towards him. Once the figure gets close enough, Izuku can recognize them by their long nose. Izuku. Oi, Usopp-san. Mount L. Dear God, it's Pinocchio. Usopp. It's been a long time. Good to see you back where you belong. Izuku. Yeah, same here. Usopp. These must be your friends. I'm sure no introductions are necessary. You've no doubt heard about the legendary sniper, God Usopp. Vernon. Nope. Mount L. Never heard of ya. Boruko. Couldn't care less. Usopp. Oi Izuku, why haven't you been spreading my legacy to the world? Izuku. Sorry, Usopp-san. I've been held up with a bunch of other stuff. Usopp. Well, I guess that's alright. I'll educate them myself on my awesomeness. Monoma. Can't wait to hear that. Pendo. Slap, you just can't help yourself, can you? So you're the Izuku I've heard so much about. Izuku turns to his side to see a large blue-skinned figure in a kimono. I am Jinbei, helmsman of the Straw Hat Pirates. It's an honor to meet you, my senior crewmate. Izuku. Boen no, the pleasure's all mine. Itsuki. The hell are you supposed to be? Humans aren't normally blue. Jinbei. I suppose my kind would be unknown to otherworlders. I am a fishman, more specifically a whale shark fishman. Mount L. Fishman. Izuku. There are a lot of different and interesting races in this world. You'll get to know them soon enough. Jinbei. I heard from Chopper-kun that you practiced martial arts under him. I'm eager to see how skilled you are. Ichako. Are you a martial artist, Jinbei-san? Jinbei. Yes, I use fishman karate. It's a form of martial arts created by us fishmen. Ijiro. Whoa, that sounds pretty interesting. I'd love to learn it. Jinbei. You two are martial artists as well, aren't you? I'd love to take you two on as students. Ochaco and Ijiro, thank you sensei. Toru. They got roped in pretty fast. Hadakuri. It seems that the last three are here. Izuku. Hadakuri. Over there. Izuku looks to where Katakuri is pointing and can see Zoro and Robin walking up to the group. Holding onto Zoro's hand was a small purple-haired girl in a yukata. Zoro. Looks like we're the last ones to arrive. Robin. And who do you think is the reason for that? Zoro. I knew where we were going. Robin. Diggle, sure you did. Izuku. Zoro-sensei, Robin-san. Robin. Welcome back, Izuku. Zoro. Good to see you lost that massive bush of hair. You look much better this way. Izuku. Thanks. Who's this cute little thing? My name is Otama. It's nice to meet you, big bro Luffy's son. Izuku. You can just call me Izuku. Tama. Okay, big bro Izuku. From behind Izuku, Tama notices Eri and Kota standing by Mirio. She then walks up to the two of them with an excited expression. Tama. Hello. You two look the same age as me. What are your names? Kota. I'm Kota. Eri. Tama. I'm really happy to meet you too. I hope we can be friends. Here. Tama says as she proceeds to hand Eri an apple which she accepts happily. Mirio. Aw, isn't that cute? Najire. So adorable. Amajiki. Why yeah. Zoro. Oi, Izuku. You remember to get me a bottle. Izuku. Yeah, gimme a second. Izuku reaches into his bag and proceeds to pull out a bottle of wine which he gives to Zoro. Zoro. Thanks. Now then, it's about time we head back to the castle. Izuku. Back to the castle. Why? Zoro. That's where Luffy is. He and Frankie were in charge of moving your stuff back to the ship. They should be done by now. Izuku. Oh, in that case let's take a shortcut. Just have to wait. Where's my sword? Ichako. You threw it back to me, remember? Izuku. Oh yeah. Ichako. Pinch, stop trying to self-sacrifice yourself, you keep worrying us with that stuff. Izuku. Ouch, alright, I'm sorry. Brook. Yo-ho-ho-ho, it's like looking at Luffy-san and Nami-san. Usopp. Yeah, except she's being much nicer than Nami. Izuku takes his sword back from Ichako and unsheathes the blade. He then uses Black Whip and his sword to cut open an extra large portal that accommodates for Katakuri's height. Upon crossing the portal into the castle, Izuku gets tackled to the ground by a white blur. Izuku. Izuku. Huh, Carrot-chan. Carrot. It's so good to see you again. Bite Garchu. Izuku. Ow, my ear stop, that hurts, you're gonna pierce through the ah. It is at this point that Izuku notices his friends looking at him with a sort of disappointed look on their faces. Izuku. No, wait, this isn't what it looks like. Parrot. Ah, are these your friends? Garchu. Parrot hops off of Izuku and proceeds to go and bite the ears of everyone who has. She stops, however, once she comes to Maruko. Parrot. Whoa, those ears and that tail, you're just like me, are you a half mink? Maruko. Half what? Pitsuki. Ow, my freaking ear, the hell is with this bunny? Izuku. Carrot-san is a mink. They're a tribe of human-animal hybrid-looking people. They're very friendly and prone to expressing it in ways like cuddling or nibbling. But what is she doing here? Parrot. I'm a member of the Straw Hat Pirates now too. Izuku. Why? Parrot. I wanted to see the world with my own two eyes. Ginbei. Luffy-kun figured she'd just sneak back aboard the ship if he said no anyways. Izuku. Seriously? Momo. Why do you seem so bothered by this? Usopp. It's cause the minks took an especially big liking to Izuku. Ichako. How come? Robin. It's because his quirk is like their ability, Electro. Mirio. What's that? Zoro. It's a mink's ability to emit an electric charge across their body. And since Izuku's power has a similar effect, the minks were really keen on the skinship with him. Izuku. I ended up covered in countless bite marks and fur in just a few hours. Denki. Hey, that ability kinda sounds like my quirk. Mina. Oh, yeah. Toru. Guess that just means you're even less special here. Denki. That's a harsh way of putting it. Izuku. Carrot-chan, where's Luffy-senpai and Frankie-san? Parrot. Frankie went back to the ship with the last of the luggage. And Luffy went into town with Rebecca to get something to eat. Usopp. Seriously, we just came from town. Zoro. Damn his bottomless stomach. He was supposed to just wait here. Izuku. It's fine, isn't it? We can just warp back into town, and I'm pretty sure I know where Luffy-senpai might have gone, so wait, what's that sound? Izuku says as him and the others key into a noise coming from the kitchen. Zoro. Annoyed, oh yeah, forgot about him. The group moves to the kitchen where they find Viola being served tea by a blonde, well-dressed individual. Here is your tea, Viola-chan. Viola. Thank you, Sanji-kun. You spoil me too much. Sanji. Love-struck, no, it's an absolute pleasure to serve a mademoiselle as fine as you. Zoro. Oi, pervy cook. It's time to go. Sanji. Shut up, mosshead, you're interrupting my time with Viola-chan. Sanji turns around and is met with a crying Izuku who proceeds to hug him tightly. Izuku. Crying Sanji-san, you're back with the crew, I'm so glad you didn't abandon us for married life. Sanji. Ow, it's good to see you too, Izuku, but you're hugging too hard, ah, my back. Mineta. It's been a while since we saw Crybaby Midoriya. Toru. Yeah, it's a nice change of pace from his recent confidence. Sanji. So you're the trainees Izuku spoke so much about. Pleasure to meet you. Ah. Sanji's gaze locks onto the adults, specifically the females of the group. He puffs out air from his nose and his visible eye turns heart-shaped. Sanji. Love-struck, ah, such incredibly fine and beautiful ladies viva the hero world. Mount L. My, seems he can recognize true beauty when he sees it. Midnight. And here I was thinking your ego couldn't get any bigger. Mount L. You what? Pixie Bob. This one's quite a fine catch, isn't he? Mandalay. Hold your desperation off for now. Eerie. That eyebrow man is strange. Koda. Yeah. Mirio. Hey now, don't say that. Shoto. To Sanji, so you're the source of Midoriya's perversion. Sanji. What the hell you call me? Denki. Bo-sensei. Mineta. Bo, we have much to learn of your lady-killing ways. Sanji. What are you two talking about? Usopp. We're wasting time here. Let's head back into town and find Luffy. Jinbei. Yeah, we should hurry before Luffy does something troublesome. Sanji. I guess you're right. Farewell Viola-chan, until we meet again. Viola. Diggle sayonara, Sanji-kun, everyone. After waving goodbye, the group exits the kitchen. Izuku then slices open a new portal which the others walk through. They end up in front of a restaurant entrance. Without hesitation, Izuku opens the door and walks inside. Employee. Welcome. How may we serve you today? Izuku. Just 2 apple juices and ice creams for these two. Izuku says as he hands the employee a 100 Beely coin. Employee. Thank you much. We'll get right on it. Izuku. By the way, has a man wearing a straw hat come in here? Employee. Oh, are you looking for Lucy? Well, he's at that table over there. The employee says as they point to a table with a literal mountain of food on it. At the table, Rebecca can be seen with a black-haired individual whose back was towards the group. Yummy, this food is pretty good. Rebecca, you sure eat a lot, Lucy. Izuku. Oi, Luffy senpai. The individual turns around and reveals himself as none other than Luffy. Seeing Izuku, Luffy smiles his iconic smile and stands up from his chair. Luffy. Ah, Izuku. The two move toward each other and grab the other's hand. Luffy. Good to see you still in one piece, hope you've gotten stronger since before. Izuku. I've definitely gotten stronger, but then again so have you, senpai. After all, you can't be an emperor if you're not strong as hell. Izawa. So this is the mighty Straw Hat Luffy. Boruko. Gotta admit, I expected more of an intimidating aura from someone worth 5 billion. Especially since he's even stronger than that big guy. Luffy. These guys your crew? Luffy says as he stretches his neck towards the others who get freaked out a bit. Luffy. Yo, I'm Luffy, the future pirate king. Mount L. His neck stretched. Hey me. That's so weird. Koda. Cool. Luffy. Surprised. I ate the gum fruit and became a rubber man. Hatakuri. Straw Hat, it's time to leave. Luffy. That's so. In that case, Izuku, wanna help me finish all this food? Izuku. Sure, I'm already starving. The two turn their attention to the large pile of food laid before them. They both then start eating as if it's been weeks since they last had a meal. They group watches in awe as the two eat like wild boars. In a matter of seconds, all that remained on the table was plates, bowls, and bones. Izuku. Ah, that really hit the spot. It's been a while since I've felt this full. Luffy. Yeah, but I could still eat some more. Izuku. Same here actually. Sanji. I can make you two some more food once we get things settled. I'll even make your favorite since today's special. Luffy. Alright. Izuku. Sounds good. Enki. What did I just watch? Pony. It was like a whirlwind came by and sucked up all that food. Toru. I didn't know Midori could eat like that. Zoro. They've both got bottomless stomachs. Luffy. Tama, come here. Tama comes closer to Luffy and is presented with a candied apple. Luffy. Saved you one. Tama. Whoa, thanks big bro. At that same time, a waiter brings the juice and ice cream Izuku ordered. Izuku. Eri, Koda, here you go. Eri. Deku, thank you. Koda, thanks big bro. Izuku. Don't worry about it. Luffy. Nothing wrong with treating kids to snacks. Izuku and Luffy. Shishy. Eri, Kota and Tama. Shishy. Zoro. Looks like that laugh spread in your world too. Itsuki. Yep. After settling the fee, the group exits the restaurant and departs for the ship. Luffy can be seen walking in front of the group with Tama holding his hand and Izuku following behind him. Izuku. By the way senpai, I haven't heard anything about Nami-san or Chopper-san. Are they back at the ship? Luffy. Yeah. Chopper stayed behind to watch after Nami and Nami stayed behind because she's pregnant. Izuku. I see. I guess it would only make sense for them to stay behind then. And it wouldn't be good for a pregnant lady to thud. Luffy turns around to see Izuku collapsed on the floor in the same position he was walking in. The silence was enough to the point you could hear him flatlining. Luffy. Strange, Sanji had the same reaction when he heard. Isn't that right, Sanji? Luffy looks to Sanji only to see him too collapsed on the ground. Zoro. You already knew, didn't you? Izuku snaps back to life, gets back on his feet, grabs Luffy by the shoulders, and starts throttling him. Izuku. Pregnant who where when why how? Luffy. Well who is me and Nami, where was in Wano, when was the night before the fight against Kaido, why is I don't know, how is some white stuff came out of my. Izuku. Actually, I don't need to know about that part, but what happened to all that talk about not being interested in love or marriage? Luffy. It couldn't be helped. It was over before I even knew it happened. Izuku. I'm not sure I want to know what that implies. Sanji. Crying it's not fair why is it that our rubber for brains captain, who's denser than steel and only cares about meat, is the one who always gets the ladies? Luffy. What are you talking about, I don't have any ladies. Sanji. There's that hellish denseness I'm talking about. You've got Nami-chan, Alvita-chan, Vivi-chan, I'm not even sure about Robin-chan, Kanas-chan, Kami-chan, the Pirate Empress, Shirahashi-chan, Lily-chan, Rebecca-chan, Kara-chan, Ryaiju, which makes me mad for a whole nother reason, and even Yamato-chan. Rebecca. I don't really. Luffy. We haven't seen most of them in a while, I wonder how they're doing. Sanji. You're not listening, are you? Why don't any ladies come to me? Zoro. I pity any women desperate enough to want to be with you. Sanji. You want to go mosshead. Zoro. Bring it on, pervy cook. Shoto. Extremely popular with the ladies, yet hellishly dense. Mineta. That sounds pretty familiar. Mineta and Shoto say as they look at Izuku. Izuku? What? Shoto. Exactly. Izuku? Huh? Eerie? What are they talking about? Tama. I don't know. Robin. You can discuss this all back at the ship. For now, we should keep on moving. Following Robin's advice, the group once again make their way to the ship. After a short walk, the group make it to a secluded shoreline where they can see the one and only Thousand Sunny. Sitting on the ship's railings, the lovable Dr. Tony Chopper can be seen. Noticing the group, Chopper jumps off the railings and runs up to Izuku and jumps in his arms. Chopper. Izuku. Izuku. Chopper-san. Chopper. I missed you. I hope you haven't gotten yourself hurt badly since last we met. Izuku. Nope, still 100% fine. Chopper. Thank goodness, I was worried. Oh, and look at this. Chopper reaches into his hat and pulls out a wanted poster for Izuku. Chopper. Look, my bounty finally made it to 1 million. Izuku. Whoa, that's awesome, Chopper-san. Everyone. It's alright, but compared to everyone else it's extremely low. Mount L. Kaya, what's this thing? He's so cute. Mount L says as she grabs Chopper from Izuku and starts cuddling him. Hey me. He's like a living teddy bear, so adorable. Eerie. Cuddly. Najire. And fluffy. Chopper. Hey, let go of me, I'm a doctor, not a toy. Mount L. Oh, sorry. Nezu. Highly intelligent yet incredibly adorable, it seems we're one and the same. Chopper. Blush dancing. See, calling me smart isn't gonna make happy me. You, what are you supposed to be? Nezu. I could very well ask you the same question. Ow, what's this I see? My former student has returned to sharpen his skills. Jumping off from the ship and landing in front of the group, the Speedo-wearing, cyborg mechanic does his signature pose. Frankie. The time has come for our super reunion. Everyone. A pervert has showed up. Izuku. Frankie-san. May. Whoa, there it is, the cyborg. Those arms are so cool. Are your legs reinforced to support the weight of your upper body? Can your fists fire off bullets like Midoriya's gloves? Does your left arm compress and fire off blasts of air? Does your right generate electricity? Does that nose let you see what you smell? Melissa. Amazing, he really is a cyborg. It's my first time seeing one in real. Frankie. Ha ha ha, looks like we have some eager and bright young inventors on our hands. I'm super eager to see how far your inventive skills can take you. Usopp. Same here. The Usopp and Frankie workshop is always open to newcomers, isn't that right, Izuku? Izuku. Smile. Sure is. Izuku, is that you? Izuku looks up to see Nami looking over the railings at the group. Izuku. Nami-san. Luffy stretches his arm and uses it to grab Nami and lower her down to the others. Once he does, Izuku uses his observation haki and can see several life forces emanating from her. Izuku. So it's true. Nami. I guess you already heard. Surprised, aren't you? Izuku. Yeah, it was really unexpected. I never thought you and Luffy-senpai. Nami. Well, if you thought there's a chance you'd die in an upcoming battle, you'd want to make sure you wouldn't have any regrets, right? Izuku. Why yeah, I suppose so. All might. Still, to have a child at 19. Pixie Bob. He's making it look so easy. Luffy. I'm actually 20, you know. Zoro. Yet you're mentally 10. Luffy. Hey. Caw. Izuku. Ah, Kuro. Izuku's feathered companion lands amongst the group. Upon their back rides a brown-haired woman with pigtails. Ah, so you're this birdie's owner. Izuku. Yeah. I feel like I've already asked this today, but who are you? Isn't it rude asking for someone's name without giving your own? Izuku. Oh, forgive me. I am Midoriya Izuku. It's a pleasure to meet you, Milady. It's a pleasure to meet you too, you snot-nosed brat. The woman says as her bangs part to reveal a third eye. This causes Izuku and some of the others to reel back from the surprise. Enki. What the hell? Mineta. Who the heck is this weird lady? Hatakuri. My little sister, Charlotte Pudding. Enki. Ack. Mineta. Sweating eye. Is that so? Sanji. Pudding-chan serves as the head baker and sweet maker for the Sunny. Her chocolate is especially delicious. Pudding. It's just normal tasting chocolate that your primitive taste buds can't handle. Sanji blush-san. Enki. What was that? Mineta. That was almost kinda cute. Hatakuri. In case you forgot, we're on a time limit here. Let's set sail already. Luffy. Oh yeah, I guess we should get going. All Might. How though? Vernon. Yeah, I doubt we can all fit on that ship of yours. Frankie. As if we didn't think of that. Luffy. Robin. Robin. Already on it, Captain. Robin says as she crosses her arms to the others' confusion. After a few moments, something hidden by the rocky coast can be seen coming into view. Once in full view, the object in question can be seen as a massive ship with a flag bearing a resemblance to Izuku. Frankie. Not bad for being built in 8 days, isn't it? Luffy. Consider it a welcome back gift. Do you like it? Izuku. Smile. I love it. My own ship, my own Jolly Roger, this is awesome. Luffy. Shushi, I thought you'd say that. Usopp. The ship that points towards a golden future where anything can happen, the Golden Deku. Not a bad name if I do say so myself. Zoro. Says the one who named it. Ichako. The Golden Deku, that's a real nice name. Izuku. Sure is. Ginbei. Now's a perfect time for you to take it for a test drive. Luffy. Yeah, let's set sail. Everyone. Yeah. With that, everyone boards the ships. Luffy waves goodbye to Rebecca from the back railing he's standing on. Rebecca. Bye Lucy, come back soon. Luffy. See you Rebecca, thanks for everything. Itsuki. Can't believe I'm riding on a ship called Deku. Sayu. You better get used to it, Kiro. Hold it right there, Straw Hat. Catching the groups off guard, a loud yell sounds from the distance. Following the source of the sound, everyone can spot 3 marine battleships approaching. On the foremost ship's front cannons stands a young man with a red mohawk. Today's the day I bring you in. Izuku. It's the Marines. Enki. Already we've only been in this world for a day. Luffy. Oh, it's Ground. He's not a half-bad fighter. You should try fighting him sometime, Izuku. Izuku. I'll make sure to. But I don't think now's the time for that. Luffy. But a small fight shouldn't take too long. Nami. Don't even think about it, there are children on these ships and Rebecca is right over there, we're getting out of here. Luffy. But that's so boring. Nami. Punch, I don't care. Jinbei-kun, get ready to blast off. Ginbei. Got it. Frankie. Hey, Izuku, there should be a lever by the helm, you should know where I'm going with this, right? Izuku. A lever? No, you didn't. Frankie. Sure did. Now get started. Izuku. This keeps getting better and better. Izuku, with a smile on his face, runs to the helm and finds said lever. He then pushes the lever forward and the ship begins vibrating. Mina. Does anyone else feel that vibrating? Ryuko. Midoriya, what exactly are you planning to do? Izuku. You'll see soon enough. Now hurry up and roll up the sails. Shoto. What, why? We need those to move. Izuku. Just trust me. Skeptical, some of the boys proceed to secure the sails. Just as the Marines arrive, the lever shifts back into place. Izuku. Yosh, we're fully charged. Ginbei. Then let's take to the air. Izuku. Yeah, hang on tight everyone. Izuku and Jinbei. Kuda. Izuku and Jinbei say as they both pull their levers back. This causes the vibrations to increase until Izuku and Jinbei burst. From the large attachments on the back of the ships bursts blasts of air that send both ships. Round. TCH, he escaped. Itsuki. What the hell is this? Ajiro. We're flying. Mineta. I'm gonna fly off. While everyone was hanging on for their lives, Izuku was standing by the helm smiling and unfazed. After a few moments of being airborne, both ships land in unoccupied ocean. Izuku. Looks like we've lost them for now. You guys okay? Zero. Warn us before you do that. Mineta. I thought I was gonna die. May. Teach me how the ship was able to do that. Izuku. Alright, sorry. But you'll get used to it real quick. Luffy. You guys good? Izuku. We're fine. Nami. Alright, let's set anchor for now. After setting anchor, everyone gathers on Izuku's ship. Luffy and Izuku are sitting in the center of the deck with everyone circled around them. Zoro, who's standing behind Luffy with Tama on his shoulders, speaks up. Zoro. Now that things have calmed down, we should look at the problem at hand now. Izuku. Yeah. Luffy. We're gonna train you guys, right? Usopp. Unlike with Izuku, we can't train you all while sailing. All Might. Isn't there some place we could set up base to train? Chopper. What about Baltigo? Sanji. No dice, the location is out in the open and the Marines would send an admiral after us the minute they find us there. We need somewhere where the Marines won't find us. And somewhere where we can really put these kids through hell. Luffy. Somewhere tough and hidden, I know somewhere we can go. Nami. Where? Luffy. The same island I trained on for 2 years. Nami. But that's on the other side of the red line, isn't it? Luffy. That's not a problem since we have this sword. Luffy says as he holds up Izuku's black sword. Izuku. My sword. When did you? Luffy. I'll make a way. Luffy says as he suddenly stands up and runs to the front of the ship. He unsheathes the sword and tosses the scabbard to Izuku. Zoro. Stop throwing the scabbards, damn it. Ignoring Zoro, Luffy stretches his arms high into the air and slices open a massive portal. Luffy. Let's go. The crew look amongst each other before ultimately agreeing to follow their captain. Jinbei and Izuku steer the ships through the portal, which is when Luffy closes it. Immediately, everyone can notice a considerably large island in their line of sight. The island had a big forest, strange rock structures, and 3 volcanoes. The group set anchor and land on the ship. Mount L. What's this place? Boruko. It's pretty wild here. Ibara. The plant life here is so abundant. Hinoko. It's amazing. Usopp. Hey, you guys sense that? Zoro. Yeah. Sanji. Sure do. Izuku. It's overwhelming. Shoto. What are they talking about? Katakuri. They're sensing the power of the creatures on the island. Shoto. Creatures. You mean the animals? Usopp. Monsters would be a more appropriate word. What is this place? Luffy. This is Rusukaina, the island of 48 seasons. Izuku. 48 seasons. Luffy. This island has a different season every week. From extreme summer to severe winter. Sai. A different season every week. Momo. That should be a scientific impossibility. Nami. This is the Grand Line, a sea where the impossible happens. Trust me when I say you'll see even crazier things than this place. Luffy. And to top things off, the island is filled with super strong animals. Izawa. Super strong animals. Just then, a loud roar comes from the forest. Everyone turns their heads to see 3 sets of red eyes in the forest. Stepping out of the forest, the 3 eyes are revealed to be a giant lion, gorilla, and alligator. Everyone. Huge. Usopp. Killer animals. Mount L. So scary. Chopper. They're gonna eat us. While almost everyone else is frightened by the animals, Luffy walks in front of them and stands before the animals. The 3 beasts growl fiercely before lunging at Luffy. Instead of attacking him like most of the group were expecting, the animals begin cuddling and licking Luffy. Luffy. Hahaha, stop that tickles, I get it already, I missed you guys too. Sato. What just happened? Bajiro. I'm not quite sure. Zoro. What did you expect? Luffy spent 2 years here, of course he'd become boss of the island. Luffy. Yeah, as long as I'm here, the animals won't try to kill you. Denki. That's slightly reassuring. Luffy. This'll be your home for the next 3 years. You'll be training under us and fighting against these beasts to train and perfect your haki. Shoto. You want us to fight against these monsters? Boruko. I doubt these things'll give us a challenge. Luffy. Don't be so sure about that. Izuku, from what I can tell, there are a bit under 400 living things on this island that you can't beat now. Izuku. 400. Denki. There are that many beasts here stronger than Midoriya. Mineta. You can't be serious, there are animals stronger than this war machine. Luffy. For the rest of you, there are over 600. Everyone. Luffy. Except for you 8. Luffy says as he points to Maruko, Mirio, Tamaki, Najire, Aizawa, Shoto, Iida, and Katsuki. Luffy. For you guys, there are a bit less than 500. Mirio. Even me. Amajiki. And me. Aizawa. Didn't expect to hear my name either. Shoto. We're still far behind Midoriya. Iida. I suppose that's only to be expected at this point. Luffy. From today, you're all a part of my crew. So I expect you all to grow strong together. The crew of the Pirate King needs to be strong, you get that, right? The newly accepted members look amongst themselves before facing Luffy with serious expressions. Everyone. Yeah, Captain. Luffy. Shishi, looks like you guys get it. Now that that's over and done with. Izuku. Izuku. What is it, senpai? Luffy. I heard from Brook and Katakuri that you wanted to see how long you can last against me now. How about we go at it now? Izuku. Smile, I was wondering when I'd get the chance. Sounds good to me, let's go. Luffy. Smile, thought so. You guys better move to the sidelines, this is gonna get rough. Katsuki. Hold it right there. Luffy. Izuku. Kaken. Itsuki. Fight me, Straw Hat. Ida. Bakugo-kun. Izawa. Bakugo, what do you think you're doing? Shoto. What are you thinking? Even you should know there's no way you can win. Itsuki. Shut up, I want to see it for myself, the power of the man not even Deku could beat. If I'm gonna be calling you captain for the next 3 years, then I want to see how I compare to you. Luffy. That's so. Well, why not? It's not like I can't take on the both of you. Zoro. Wait a minute, Captain. Luffy. What is it, Zoro? Zoro. You shouldn't bother yourself with someone like him, let me deal with the kid. Luffy. You sure? Zoro. Yeah, this kid needs to learn some respect. Luffy. Well, whatever, do what you want. Itsuki. Hang on, the one I want to challenge is him, not you. Zoro. You're not worth Luffy's effort. Hell, you're not even worth the shitty cooks. Sanji. I'd like to see you call me that to my face, Mosshead. Itsuki. Shut up, you Cyclops, I don't want second best. Zoro. Piss, that's some attitude you've got there. Tell you what, if you can get me down on my knees, then I'll let you fight Luffy. However, if you're the one that falls to the ground, you'll shut your mouth and sit your ass down. Itsuki. I just gotta get you down, right? Zoro. Yeah. And to sweeten the deal, I won't attack for a single minute. Sound good? Itsuki. HMPH, you better not regret what's about to happen. After a while, the fight scene is set. Kitsuki, with his gauntlets equipped, and Zoro stand a few meters apart from each other. Izuku, Luffy, and the others are standing and sitting away at a safe distance from the two. Ichako, hey Deku. Izuku. What is it, Ichako? Ichako. Do you think Bakugo-kun stands a chance? Izuku. Speaking honestly, no. Not against Zoro-sensei. Kaken's not even close to being in the same league. You see, most of the scars on my body are from Zoro-sensei. Usopp. Your friend may be strong, but he's going up against one of our monster trio. Sai. Monster trio. Chopper. The 3 strongest members of our crew. Zoro. Before we do this, why don't you tell me your name? Itsuki. Bakugo Kitsuki. Zoro. Bakugo Kitsuki, show me what you've got. Kitsuki. With pleasure. Without wasting a second, Kitsuki blasts forward like a rocket using his quirk. Usopp. He's fast. Sanji. Explosions, Zoro. Explosions, eh? Kitsuki. This guy'll be tough to take down, so I'll have to start chipping away and fast zero distance. Kitsuki closes in the distance between him and Zoro. Zoro remains motionless as a glow forms between Kitsuki's hands. Like an actual flashbang, Kitsuki sets off a large explosive flash right in Zoro's face. Kitsuki. Stun grenade. Satsuna. A solid hit. Hiroshima. And to the face too. Kitsuki. 50 seconds. Zoro. Trying to whittle me down, are you? The smoke from the explosion clears to reveal Zoro still standing with his head coated in hockey. Zoro. I'll give you points for effort. Kitsuki. Damn it, AP shot. Kitsuki jumps back and uses his right hand to form a circle on the palm of his left. Kitsuki. Machine gun. Kitsuki lets loose a barrage of blasts aimed at Zoro. With ease, Zoro dodges the blasts as if they were moving in slow motion. Seeing the ineffectiveness of his attack, Kitsuki halts his attack and charges up another. Kitsuki. Mortar. Kitsuki fires a single large blast at Zoro. Seeing this coming, Zoro hackifies his arm and blocks the blast with his hand. Zoro. 28 seconds. Kitsuki. Damn it all. Kitsuki yells as he propels himself into the air using his explosions. Once he's high enough, he aims his gauntlet down at Zoro and pulls the pin. A humongous explosion ruptures forth from his gauntlet and crashes down onto Zoro. Without wasting a second after the explosion finishes, Kitsuki pulls the pin on his other gauntlet and creates another humongous explosion. Robin. 15 seconds. Kitsuki propels himself further upwards while spinning to create a tornado. He then curves in the air and dives towards Zoro. Izuku. 8 seconds. Kitsuki. Go to hell. Luffy. 4 seconds. Kitsuki. Howitzer. As the smoke from the prior explosions fade, Zoro is revealed yet again to be standing unfazed with his eyes closed. He narrowly opens his right eye. Zoro. 0. Zoro says silently as he widens his eye and sends out a powerful shockwave that flows over everyone. Kitsuki is caught off guard and so overcome by the pressure that he loses focus and falls to the ground. On the sidelines, Izuku was sitting there wide-eyed with his mouth wide open from shock. Izuku. This is. Zoro. What's the matter, down already? I haven't even laid a finger on you yet. If you can't even stand up from this, how do you think you can go against Luffy? Itsuki says nothing as he stares on the ground while he stays there on his hands and knees. Zoro. We're done here. Zoro says as he walks away from Kitsuki, who just remains unmoving. Kirishima, Satsuna, Denki and Mina take the opportunity to run up to him. Kirishima. Bakubro, you okay? Mina. Hey, say something. Kitsuki. What happened? Denki. Dude, you lost. Hard. Satsuna. In a split second. Izuku. Zoro-sensei, was that? Zoro. Don't be so surprised, Izuku. If I'm aiming to be the world's greatest swordsman, then I can't fall below this. Sanji. Way to show off, mosshead. Zoro. Just reminding you of your place, curly brows. Sanji. I'll fillet your ass. Zoro. I'll slice into pieces. Monoma. Monsters fighting amongst monsters, how predictable. Nami and Kendo. Punch, that's enough out of you. Zoro, Sanji love-struck in Monoma. Ow. Chopper. It's as if there's two Namis. Usopp. Could there be anything scarier than that? Izuku. Sensei, how long have you had Conqueror's Haki? Zoro. About 2 years now. I just haven't had to use it until recently. Surprised you never picked up on it. I'm pretty sure even Luffy was aware of it. Luffy? Yeah, it was clear to see. Zoro. Anyways, now that your friend and his attitude have been taken care, it's about time we get down to what you've been waiting for. Luffy. It's about time you show me what you've got. Izuku. With pleasure. After Kitsuki gets back on his feet, the time finally comes for Izuku and Luffy's fight. Luffy stands with his back to the forest, while Izuku stands with his to the ocean. Izuku stands there in his training shorts with only his snow sword equipped. Sanji. Izuku got a tattoo. Kinda surprising. Frankie. Yeah, Tra gave it to him. Jinbei. Quite prideful, isn't he? All Might. Smile yes. He speaks about this crew with absolute pride. Luffy. You sure you just want to use that sword of yours? I know you've got a bunch more gear. Izuku. No, this is fine. With this sword and my power, I can fight to my fullest. Luffy. That's so. Well, it is your choice. Now then, I'll give you the first move. Izuku. Heh, thanks for that. Izuku yells as he switches into second gear and jumps forward with his fist cocked back. Luffy smirks as he cocks back and hackifies his own fist. The two fists collide and cause surges of green and red lightning, along with a wave of pressure. Hadokuri. Conqueror's Haki, huh? Jinbei. I wasn't expecting that. Sanji. It's just one surprise after another. Inasa. Can somebody please explain what's going on? What is that? Zoro. It's a Conqueror's Clash. It happens when two Conqueror's Haki users clash Hakis. The clash ends as Izuku jumps back into his earlier position. Luffy. Smile shishi, looks like your Haki has gotten stronger. Izuku. Smile, so has yours, senpai. Izuku says while clenching his wrist as his hand twitches as if in pain. Sai. What happened? Izuku-kun already looks as if he's taken damage. Ryuko. He mentioned this before, didn't he? Something about Haki backlash. Hadokuri. In a clash, the one with the inferior Haki will suffer. Pony. I see. But why did he jump straight into second gear? Robin. Because of his devil fruit, Luffy's body is made of rubber. As a result, blunt attack not coated in Haki won't have any effect. Usopp. And on top of all that, Luffy's ridiculously strong. A constant Haki defense is a real smart move. Luffy. Armament. Hardening. Luffy says as he coats both his arms and legs in armament Haki. He then stretches and throws his right arm back. Luffy. Gomu no. Luffy throws his fist forward and sends it straight towards Izuku. Luffy. Hawk pistol. Izuku jumps up into the air to avoid the attack. Luffy pulls back his arm and looks up to see Izuku igniting his legs in a black flame. Izuku. Diable jam. Pole, Friar Spectre. Izuku kicks rapidly at Luffy with both his flaming legs. Without breaking a sweat, Luffy dodges Izuku's kicks and the resulting fireballs. Izuku stops the attack mid-barrage, emits a black whip from his right foot. Izuku. Gomu Kenpo. Smash. Luffy. Hawk. Izuku and Luffy. Stamp. The two yell as they both send an elongated kick towards the other. The two attacks clash against each other and result in another Conqueror's Clash. Izuku uses Skywalk and boosts himself forward. He then starts spinning midair before trying to punch Luffy. Izuku. California Smash. Luffy jumps back a bit and Izuku's fist crashes into the ground. Izuku quickly looks up and sees the palm of Luffy's hand in his face. Before Izuku can react, he gets knocked back by an invisible force hitting him in the face. Izuku. What was that? I didn't see oomph. Izuku is interrupted as he gets hit in the gut by Luffy's fist. Luffy. Bullet. Without giving Izuku a moment to relax, Luffy kicks Izuku up into the air. Izuku looks back down to see Luffy inflating himself like a balloon. He then exhales and launches himself up into the air. Luffy. Gomu Gomu no. Izuku. Gomu Kenpo. Luffy. Eagle Storm. Izuku. Smash Rain. The two unleash a barrage of punches aimed at each other. This continues to go on until Luffy suddenly and instead uses the remaining momentum from launching upwards to ascend above Izuku. He then stretches his legs and grabs Izuku's face with his feet. He flails around in the air and slams Izuku into the ground. Luffy. Hawk Hammer. Izuku quickly recovers and gets back up on his feet. He places his two wrists against each other and points his fingers at Luffy. He then fires several thin black whip needles at Luffy. Izuku. Ninja Art. Thousand Sheet Pierce Tenfold. Luffy dodges the needles one by one. Meanwhile, Izuku uses the distraction to carefully take aim at Luffy. Izuku. Yosh, I've got him where I want him. Now, compress the power. Izuku emits several large black whips from the palms of his hand. He then compresses and condenses the whips into a black ball. Izuku. And release Black Cannon. Izuku fires a massive black whip from the ball at an incredible speed. Unable to dodge, Luffy blocks the attack by crossing his hackified arms. He then uncrosses his arms and deflects the attack. Luffy. Not bad, but it lacks power. Luffy jumps into the air above Izuku and kicks the back of his head, sending it into the ground. Izuku gets back up and turns around only to be met with Luffy's fists to his gut. Luffy. Eagle Bazooka. The attack sends Izuku flying into the forest. Luffy stretches his arms and grabs hold of two trees. Luffy. We're not done yet missile. Luffy yells as he launches himself into the forest after Izuku. Enki. They went into the woods. Usopp. After them. The group run into the forest to follow the group. Katakuri and Robin, however, remain behind. Robin. Staying behind. Katakuri. They'll just end up back here. And you? Robin. I can see from here. Robin says as she crosses her arms and closes her eyes. At that moment, a clone of her appears riding on the back of Chopper. Meanwhile, Izuku continues flying through forest until he ends up crashing into a rock. Izuku. Ow. While still indented in the rock, Luffy rockets into Izuku's stomach. This causes the rock to smash to pieces and crumble on top of Izuku. The others arrive as Izuku climbs out of the rubble. Izuku. So not even second gear is enough to even the playing field. Time to kick things up even higher. Izuku says while drawing his sword. He then holds it up above his head with both his hands. He grips the handle hard and a large amount of snow forms from the blade. The snow covers the entire sword and begins reforming it. Soon the sword takes the form of a massive crucifix. Izuku. Snowblade. Yuki no Yoru. Ibara. That sword. Luffy. Hawkeye's Yoru, huh? Zoro. Heh, can't wait to see how good he's gotten with that sword. Izuku. Here I come. Izuku jumps up into the air and points the sword downwards. He then places his feet on the crossguard while grabbing it in the hilt. He stabs the sword into the ground as Luffy dodges by jumping back. Izuku then jumps off the sword and pulls it out of the ground. Using both hands, he then thrusts the sword forward and fires a blast of compressed air as if from a cannon. Izuku. Yuki no Yoru. Obeyed coup droit. Luffy leans back to avoid the attack and the trees behind him are blasted away as a result. Izuku lifts the sword over his shoulder before diagonally slicing at Luffy. Izuku. Baki. Luffy jumps to the left to avoid the attack while the slice continues on to slice through several trees. Ichako. Deku's attacks aren't doing anything. Zoro. That's how it's always been. And even though Izuku's gotten stronger since their last fight, Luffy's gotten much stronger as well. Sigh. Izuku-kun. Luffy. Come on, pick up the pace, Izuku. Luffy says before jumping back deeper into the woods. Izuku jumps in after Luffy and the others follow suit. Izuku looks around but is unable to locate Luffy. He's about to try using observation haki to locate but hears what sounds to be a spring. Luffy. Gomu Gomu no. The sound of springs grow louder as Izuku begins seeing something jumping all around him and the others from tree to tree at an incredible speed. Luffy. Spring. Izuku turns around and looks up to see Luffy with spring-like legs up against a tree. Luffy launches forward while keeping both his arms outstretched behind him. Izuku raises his sword in front of him and hackifies the blade of the sword. Luffy. Bazooka. Luffy brings his hands forward and clashes against the blade. The clash lasts for a few seconds before Izuku is sent flying out of the woods once again. Izuku lands on his feet back at the coast where Robin and Katakuri can be seen drinking tea. Robin. That was fast. Mineta. I can't keep running like this, my legs are too short. Izuku. Huff huff, so this is the might of an emperor. It's incredible. Luffy. Come on now Izuku, I know you're holding back. Izuku. So you can tell. Well, I guess it's about time I use this new skill of mine. I've almost reached my limit on second gear anyways. Izuku returns his sword to normal and sheathes it. He then holds his arms by his side and breathes outwards calmly. He then grips his fists tightly before yelling aloud. Green electricity begins emitting in a large amount from Izuku's right arm. Izuku's right arm begins bulking up and his haki spreads to cover his right eye and join with the marking on his chest. Izuku. Alright, this is the limit of my second gear. This is what you wanted to see, isn't it? Luffy. Not bad, now bring it. Izuku. Sure thing. Izuku holds his left palm out in front of him while cocking back his right. His entire right arm then gets covered in a mass of black whips. Izuku. United Smash Pistol. Izuku yells as he punches forward and launches the black whip at Luffy. Luffy jumps up to dodge and the attack ends up destroying several meters of trees and a large rock structure. The wind pressure was enough to knock back some of the people on the sidelines. Izuku vanishes and quickly reappears above Luffy with his arm once again cocked back. Luffy smiles seeing Izuku's attack coming and simply crosses his arms to block. Izuku punches Luffy's arms and sends him crashing down to the ground below. Upon making contact with the ground, Luffy creates a massive crater. Izuku on the other hand, flinches as he feels strain in his arm. Izuku lands back down on the ground and switches out of second gear as Luffy walks out of the crater. Luffy. Wow, that's one hell of a punch. Izuku. Yeah. Although I can only manage 2 shots without breaking my arm. That aside, why did you jump up? Luffy. What do you mean? Izuku. You smiled, which means you knew what was coming. Yet you still jumped up into the air where you knew you wouldn't be able to dodge. Luffy. Found out, am I? Well, it'd be a waste if your special attack ran out of ammo without you getting a solid hit in. Izuku. Smile. Well, it's true that I'm glad to see my attack land, I'm not happy that that hit was landed out of pity. Senpai, I didn't come back just for you to go easy on me. I want to fight at full power and have you get serious against me. Izuku draws his snow sword once more and places the back of the blade between his teeth. Izuku. And that's exactly what I plan to do. Gear 3rd. Izuku bites down on the blade and shatters it. The shattered pieces then turn to snow and circle around Izuku, creating a small blizzard. The temperature begins dropping as the blizzard around Izuku grows into a twister. The ground around the natural disaster starts freezing and the sky darkens. Everyone, apart from a certain few, try to protect themselves from the cold, harsh winds. Luffy stands there unfazed and smiling at the sight before. After a few seconds, the twister subsides. Snow begins falling from the now gray sky. In the center of what was the storm stands Izuku. His arms and lower body are covered in a black snow. His arms and legs are now longer and bigger with his hands looking like a pair of dragon claws. On his back appear a pair of black wings with a dark tail below them. His head dons a pair of horns and he showcases white fangs. His eyes and hair remain their same emerald green but somehow appear darker than before. He opens his mouth and breathes out a white mist. He smirks and strikes a pose in his new form. Yui. What is that? Mineta. Is that Midoriya? Chopper. He looks completely different. Mina. Like a beast. Izuku. Well, what do you think? This is the latest addition to my arsenal. Luffy. It's definitely something. Izuku. I haven't really used it a lot so haven't thought of a name for it yet. How about Dragonman? Luffy. Dragonman, huh? Not bad. Although you're pretty much putting out there what you're basing it on. Izuku. So what if I am? What really matters is how well I fight with this power. Luffy. So, you gonna show me? Izuku. Sure am. Izuku yells as he cocks his right arm back. He throws his fist forward and it stretches with the snow. Luffy simply leans to avoid the straightforward attack. Izuku however keeps a smile plastered on his face. Luffy smirks at Izuku before his eyes appear to glow red. Izuku. There's that glow again. Luffy then jumps back to avoid a fist to the face. Izuku. You dodged. Luffy. You expect me to get hit by the trick I taught you? Luffy says as he looks around to see the attack had done 3 right-angled turns to circle around him. Izuku. Shiro Culverin. I'll admit that it's not new or creative. And it isn't as fast or as powerful as yours. But, it's a lot more unpredictable. Izuku says as a fist forms and launches at Luffy from his arm. Luffy notices and is able to deflect the attack with his arm. Izuku. The more my attack spreads, the more areas I can attack from. Dodging one attack only makes it harder to avoid the next. Izuku says as several more fists form and launch at Luffy from various directions. Luffy counters by stretching his leg and using it to deflect the fists. Luffy. Hawk whip. Luffy retracts his leg before sending a punch towards Izuku. Izuku detaches his arm from the snow and sidesteps out of the way. New snow then forms and covers Izuku's arm again. Zoro. Oh, well, isn't this interesting? Shoto. What is it? Sanji. The way he controls the snow, you'd think he'd actually eaten a devil fruit. Katakuri. He figured out a way to use the fruit's power as if it's his own without actually eating it. That's somewhat impressive. Izuku. Have another, Shiro Culverin. Izuku launches an attack from his left arm this time. Instead of dodging, Luffy punches the attack to destroy it. Seeing this, Izuku cocks back his right arm. Izuku. White blow. Izuku punches forward only for his snow arm to this time detach and launch towards Luffy. Caught off guard, Luffy hackifies his gut and tanks the attack. Enki. He landed a hit. Luffy. Mimicking Smokey's attack, huh? Izuku. Learning my enemy's skills and adding them into my arsenal, you know that's how I've always been. Speaking of which, partisan. Izuku yells as he spreads his wings and forms 3 snow lances in the air above him. He launches them towards Luffy at an incredible speed. Jinbei. That attack. All Might. What about it? Jinbei. It's one of Akiji's. All Might. Coughing up blood, you mean the ex-admiral. Chopper. Ah, doctor. Midnight. That's you. Luffy remains calm and unleashes a burst of Conqueror's haki that causes the lances to lose their momentum and fall to the ground. Izuku. Looks like I'll need to slow you down a bit. Izuku's chest begins inflating as he starts inhaling air. He stops once he reaches his maximum lung capacity. He then breathes out cold air that freezes everything in its path, including Luffy. Izuku. Ice ball. And. Izuku jumps forward into the air and holds his fingers in the dragon claw position. The snow melts the fingers together to more closely resemble that of an actual dragon. Izuku. True dragon claw. Before Izuku's attack can land, however, the ice ball around Luffy starts cracking up before he eventually breaks out. Izuku. You broke my ice. There goes that plan. Luffy. Akiji's ice was tougher. You're gonna have to try something better than that. Izuku. That's so. Well, I was hoping to save this for later, but what the heck. Using his wings, Izuku flies up into the sky above. Once he reaches an optimum height, he stops and just hovers in the air. He throws and stretches his right arm upwards. Snow begins accumulating around Izuku's body before being sent through to his arm. The snow keeps on adding and adding until it forms a massive hackified fist. Everyone. That's a huge fist. Izuku. Try this on for size mammoth gun. Izuku yells while throwing the massive fist downwards at Luffy. Luffy merely rockets out of the way with ease. Seeing this, Izuku disconnects from the massive snow fist and sticks his leg into the air. As with his fist, the snow forms a massive hackified foot. Izuku. Titan axe. Izuku slams his massive foot into the ground, only for it to once again be dodged by Luffy. Growing irritated, Izuku descends back onto the ground. Izuku. I can't land a single hit. You're dodging so easily. Luffy. I know the problem. It was like that for me too when I first developed my third gear. Bigger limbs are much slower and harder to move. I'll help you work on it later. Izuku. Thanks, I look forward to it. For now though, we've still got a fight on our hands. Izuku stretches both his fists this time towards Luffy. As they're being launched, green sparks start emitting from the hackified fists. Izuku. Alright, looks like I'm recharged. The 2 fists clash against Luffy's fists. They're locked in a stalemate until Luffy notices that he's being pushed back. He then leans back and kicks the arms to destroy them. He then stands back up straight to look Izuku in the eye. Luffy. Using your haki to spread the influence of your quirk, huh? Not bad, Izuku. This power of yours could end up being a really strong weapon. But, it still needs work. And so do you. Luffy says as he throws his shirt to the side and spreads his legs. He then places his left fist on the ground and his right hand on his knee. Luffy. I guess it's about time I got a bit serious with you. Luffy presses down on his knee and uses his leg to pump blood. His skin turns a pinkish hue and steam starts coming off his body. Luffy. Gear second. Zoro. Finally getting serious, is he? Mina. What's happening? He's steaming and looking like me. Usopp. It's Luffy's second gear. This might be it for Izuku. Izuku. This is the first time you've fought against me with second gear. I'm getting excited. Luffy. That's good. You better remember that feeling cause it won't last long. Luffy says as he holds his left palm up and cocks his right fist back. Luffy. Gomu Gomu no. Izuku holds his left hand in front of him vertically. He then thrusts it forward and creates a bird made of snow that flies towards Luffy. Luffy. Jet pistol. Luffy punches forward and destroys the bird in one hit. He then seems to vanish from everyone's line of sight before reappearing and slamming his fist into Izuku's stomach. Luffy. Jet bullet. Izuku gets knocked back with his feet skidding across the ground. Once he stops skidding, Izuku clutches his gut and begins shivering. Izuku. Incredible, even without hockey, the punches are so heavy. Before Izuku can react, he gets kicked in the side of his face and sent flying. Ida. He's so fast now. May. I can't even keep track. Izuku regains his footing, only to be kicked face first into the by Luffy from up above. While still in the air, Luffy hackifies his feet and stabs them into Izuku's back. Luffy. Hawk spear. Luffy lands back on the ground as Izuku pushes himself back up on his feet. Izuku. Ow, that really hurt. Luffy. Come on, use that quirk of yours. You can't last against me without it. Izuku. You don't think I know that. Gear second double Shiro Culverin. Izuku's haki gains a green tint and the markings on his eye and chest return. He stretches his arms at Luffy even faster than before. Multiple fists form from the arms and branch off in different directions to surround Luffy. Luffy's eyes glow red as he proceeds to dodge and deflect several of the fists. He then jumps up and starts twisting his body. Luffy. Gomu Gomu no. Jet fireworks. Kicks and punches shoot out in all directions from Luffy. These attacks make contact with and break apart Izuku's. Luffy lands back on the ground and lunges at Izuku. The two punch and clash against each other. They both their fists back and ready their arms. Luffy. Gomu Gomu no. Hawk Gatling. Izuku. Gomu Kenpo. Smash Gatling. The two unleash a barrage of high-speed punches at each other from close range. The attacks clash against each other so fast that they can't be seen by those on the sidelines, only the shockwaves can be felt. The barrage lasts until Luffy's fist breaks the snow covering on Izuku's arm and strikes Izuku's actual fist. Izuku recoils from the backlash and provides an opening for Luffy. Luffy throws his right arm back behind him. The fist catches a flame before Luffy quickly slams it into Izuku's stomach. Luffy. Red Hawk. Izuku's eyes go white from the pain as he coughs up blood. With one final blazing push, Izuku gets launched straight into the ocean at high speed. Ichako. Deku. Sai. Izuku-kun. Shoto. Midoriya. Luffy. Oops, looks like I might have gone too far. Luffy switches out of second gear and joins the others as they run to the spot where Izuku landed. The group look over the coastline to see Izuku switched back to normal and floating on his back in the ocean. His snow sword was gripped tightly in his hand, and smoke can be seen coming from the burnt spot on his chest. Sai wraps her tongue around Izuku and pulls him back onto land. Sai. You okay, Izuku-kun? Izuku. Shivering aside from all my muscles aching and freezing, along with the burning spot on my chest, I'm okay. I probably shouldn't have used second gear twice in a row. Luffy. Shishy, you put up a real fight for one, Izuku. I'm pretty sure that's the longest you've ever lasted against me. How long was it, Robin? Robin. About 20 minutes this time. Over twice as long as his previous record. Izuku. Smile over twice as long, huh? Glad to finally make it into the double digits, shishy. Chopper. Lie still, you took a pretty heavy beating there. Not to worry though, I'll patch you up nice and quickly. Izuku. Thanks, Chopper-san. Itsuki. Deku, what the hell was that? How long have you been keeping that hidden? Are you telling me you've been holding back this whole time? Izuku. Calm down, Kakin. Like I said, I only developed the technique recently. I thought of it like 3 days ago. Itsuki. No excuses to Luffy and you. What was that fire attack at the end? I thought you were only made up of rubber. Luffy. I am. It just happens when I use second gear with haki. Itsuki. That doesn't explain anything. Boruko. That what insane, you're so strong, you've gotta let me fight you sometime. Luffy. Sure, I'm ready to go whenever you are. You should probably get some training under your belt first though. Zoro. That reminds me. Oi, all of you that want to learn haki, as soon as Izuku gets patched up I want all of you to meet up in front of the ships. Ida. Any particular reason why? Zoro. We need to separate those with potential from those without. With those words, everyone decides to take a timeout while Chopper carries Izuku to the ship. After a while, Izuku and Chopper return with Izuku's entire body being bandaged up. Usopp. Geez Luffy, you really went to town on Izuku. Luffy. Sorry about that, Izuku. Izuku. It's fine, senpai. I'll just go see Manchuri-chan later to heal me up faster. Zoro. Anyways, now that you're here, we can get started. Hurry up and group up, you kids. Izuku, you stay here. Everyone follows Zoro's orders and move into position. Eventually, CLASS-1NB, the Big Three, Shinso, Maruko, Mount L, Inasa, Kami, Burnin, and the Hussycats group together in front of the two ships. In front of them all stands Izuku, Zoro, Katakuri, and Luffy. Everyone else stands away from them at a safe distance. Momo. Why exactly are we grouped together like this? Monoma. Yeah, I'm not exactly comfortable with being this close to 1A's flaming garbage bag. Bitsuki. Shut up, copycat. Zoro. Before we teach you how to use hockey, we need to determine which of you have potential. Ida. You say that, but we still have no idea what you're talking about. Zoro. Geez, you still don't get it. Katakuri. We'll be determining how many of you have a chance of possessing Conqueror's hockey. Tiger. Oh, and how do you plan on doing that? Katakuri. It's simple. Conqueror's hockey users are unaffected by another user's Conqueror's hockey. By that, I mean that they won't pass out after being exposed to a wave of it. Izuku. At most, they'll be brought to their knees by the pressure. Of course, it's no guarantee since you could just have a strong will. Luffy. That's why we'll be multiplying the pressure by 4. Izuku. I had a feeling that you were Conqueror, Katakuri-san. That pressure you exerted earlier was definitely that of 1. Katakuri. I'm the child of an emperor with a bounty of 1.5 billion. It'd be strange if I didn't have Conqueror's hockey. Shoto. So what you're saying is that you 4 will expose all us to your Conqueror's hockey. And that those of us who remain conscious have a chance of possessing Conqueror's hockey. Zoro. That's exactly it. Now let's hurry up and get this over with. Ichako. Wait, you're not even giving us time to brace ourselves. Zoro. Stop being a baby, let's go you 3. Izuku. Okay. Luffy. Alright, let's do it. Katakuri. HMPH. The 4 narrow their eyes before widening them suddenly. They then simultaneously unleash their Conqueror's hockey onto the group. Red, green, blue and purple surges lightning is created from the clash of the 4 Conquerors. Immediately, a large amount of the group falls to the ground unconscious. As the clash goes on, those still standing fall to the ground one by one. The ground around the 4 starts cracking and the ocean starts swaying violently. Trees shake as nearby animals also fall unconscious. The clash continues on for a solid minute before the 4 decide to stop. They, along with the others, walk up to the group. Katakuri. Oh, there are more than I expected. Zoro. Heh, 2 of them are actually still standing. Luffy. Any you're surprised about, Izuku? Izuku. 2 of them are definitely unexpected. Izawa. Smile, well I'll be damned. Vlad. I don't believe it. Nezu. Coo, we've got so many kids with potential. Izuku. Congratulations, Kakin, Shoto, Ichako Tsuyu, Iida-kun, Yayoi Rozu-chan, Kirishima-kun, Kaminari-kun, Itsuka-san, Monoma-kun, Tetsutetsu-kun, Tagada-senpai, Inasa-kun, Shinso-kun, Maruko-san, Tiger-san. Your training will be a lot more difficult than the others. But smile, it may just bear results. Chapter 10. Zero. Ugh, what happened? Mina. I don't know. But my head hurts. Momo. Oh, thank goodness. It looks like you're all waking up now. The group of people lying on the floor get up one by one and find themselves in the middle of a nighttime party. Izuku is serving drinks while Sanji's cooking food. Zoro, Tiger and Maruko are sharing shots of sake. Chopper and Usopp were dancing with chopsticks in their noses and mouths. Luffy, Kirishima, Tetsutetsu, Inasa and Mirio are stuffing their faces full of food. Izawa is sitting peacefully with Eri and enjoying Brook's music on the piano. Monoma. Well, it seems class 1's failures and my sleep-deprived classmates who were too tired to stay awake have finally woken up. Zero. Wait, what? Mina. He stayed conscious. Monoma. Ha, bow down to your superiors, tremble before the might of a conqueror. Hendo. Chop, keep looking down on people like that and your neck will stay like that. And it's not confirmed that you have it. Enki. Yeah, I think there's definitely a mistake here. More so in his regard, but also in mine. Zoro. There's no mistake here. You've definitely either got an indomitable will or a conqueror's spirit. Same with that kid with the annoying face. Monoma. Hey. Mineta. Still, Kaminari. I find that hard to believe. Tokoyami. Not for me. Jiro. Me too. Enki. You guys really believe in me that much? You're too kind. Jiro. Yeah, whatever. Setsuna. So the explosion king and cold heat passed too. Shoto. Cold heat. Itsuki. Of bucking course I passed anything Deku can do, I can do 1,000 times better. Sanji. Shut up brat, don't you dare yell at a lady. Itsuki. Shut up blondie locks. Sanji. You're blonde too, porcupine hair. Katsuki. Pervy chef. Sanji. Short fuse. Hey and S. Hot-headed punk. Zoro. They're ruining my sake. Shoto. Want some ice? Zoro. Sure. Rice cracker. Shoto. Yes please. Zero. They're both getting along pretty fine. Hiroshima. You guys have gotta try this food. Anasa. It's even better than Midoriya's. Izuku. Yeah, Sanji-san's food is leagues above mine. Sanji. Yeah, but your special drinks are pretty good too. Mineta. It can't be that much better. Mineta walks up to the food table and grabs a relatively large shrimp. After taking a bite, he starts eating like there's no tomorrow. Mineta. Dear God, it is. Toru. Amazing, it's like my taste buds are in heaven. Sanji. Thanks, it's but a pleasure to serve delicacies for young ladies such as yourself. Pudding. Hey, get me some tea Sanji-san. Sanji. Love struck right away, Pudding-chan. Brook. Yo-ho-ho, time for a change of tune. Any requests? Luffy. Brook, play the song all pirates know and love, it'll be their song from now on. Brook. Yo-ho-ho, good choice Luffy-san. Izuku-san, mind giving me a hand? Izuku. Sure, I've been wanting to join in for a while now anyways. Izuku uses his black whips to hand out the remaining drinks to everyone. He then grabs his violin and bow that are resting on the piano. Brook. Now then, for added performance. Brook says as he opens his skull much to the surprise of everyone. He scratches around in there and manages to pull out a shell. Brook. There we are. Midnight. How are you still alive when your skull can do that? Brook. Young lady, I have neither flesh nor organs. I survive on my soul alone. Midnight. Okay I guess. But what's with the shell though? Jiro. Oh, that's one of those shells that record sound, isn't it? Brook. Why yes, it is. Quite the perceptive one, aren't you? Mineta. How do you know what it is? Izuku. I lent her one with some fighting music recorded on it. Jiro. Thanks for that by the way. Izuku. It's my pleasure. Brook. Yo-ho-ho, perhaps you can play with us the next time we perform this song. Jiro. I'd love to. Brook. For now though, listen to the Soul King and Soul Prince perform the pirate song, Binks Brew. Izuku taps his foot on the ground and Brook presses the apex of the shell. Music starts playing on cue with Izuku and Brook. The voices of many sailors accompany Brook and Izuku as they sing. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Gather up all of the crew. It's time to ship out Binks Brew. Sea wind blows. To where? Who knows? The waves will be our guide. Or across the ocean's tide. Rays of sunshine far and wide. Birds they sing of cheerful things, in circles passing by. Bid farewell to Weaver's town. Say so long to port renowned. Sing a song, it won't be long, before we're casting off. Cross the gold and silver seas. The salty spray puts us at ease. Day and night to our delight. The voyage never ends. Everyone starts enjoying the music. Some start dancing while others peacefully vibe to the music. Eri, Koda and Tama drift off to sleep from the music. Zoro and Izawa share a toast with All Might and Tiger. Pudding and Sanji make desserts whilst Mina and Sato eat more sweets. Luffy, Usopp, Chopper and Frankie take the chance to join in. Usopp and Luffy gather up all of the crew. It's time to ship out Binks Brew. Pirates we, eternally are challenging the sea. Chopper and Frankie. With the waves to rest our heads. Ship beneath us as our beds. Hoisted high upon the mast our Jolly Roger flies. Izuku and Brook. Somewhere in the endless sky. Stormy winds are blowing by. Waves are dancing, evening comes. It's time to sound the drums. But steady men may never fear. Tomorrow's skies are always clear. So pound your feet and clap your hands till sunny days return. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Brook. Gather up all of the crew. It's time to ship out Binks Brew. Wave goodbye, but don't you cry. Our memories remain. Our days are but a passing dream, everlasting though they seem. 'Neath the moon we'll meet again, the wind's our lullaby. Gather up all of the crew. It's time to ship out Binks Brew. Sing a song and play along. For all the oceans wide. After all is said and done. You'll end up a skeleton. So spread your tail, from dawn till dusk, upon these bony seas. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Yo-ho-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. The song climaxes into a solo from Brook. While playing, Brook can't help but think back to his previous captain, Crew and Laboon. He ends the song with a tear from his eye socket and his skeletal version of a smile. Izuku. Brook-san, are you okay? Brook. Yes, I'm fine. This song just always brings back a lot of memories. Jiro. Really? It's that important to bring you to tears? Brook. Well, it is the song I died to. It has to hold a special place in my heart or ribsage. Jiro. Talk about devoting your life to music. Luffy. Hey, keep on playing guys, we're partying till we drop tonight. Everyone. Yeah. Just as Luffy said, everyone partied into the night. Near 2 in the morning, almost everyone is passed out on the coast. Luffy, Zoro, Katakuri, Nami, Izuku, Aizawa, All Might and Nezu were sitting on the deck of the Thousand Sunny. Nezu. Okay, I trust I can leave them all to you. Luffy. Yeah, no worries. Nezu. I understand that their training will be incredibly difficult, but I don't want you pushing them too far. Luffy. No worries, we'll bring them back alive. As captain, it's my job to look after my crew. Besides, they'll be able to take care of themselves once we're done with them. Nezu. Thank you, Luffy-san. Midoriya, you can send me back now. Izuku. Yes sir. Izuku stands up and slashes a portal open for Nezu. Nezu. Well, I suppose I'll be seeing you in 3 years. Nezu says as he jumps through the portal. Izuku closes the portal and looks at his friends asleep on the beach. Izuku. They're in for a real rough time tomorrow. I sure hope they're up for it. The very next day. Zero, Mina and Mineta. Aye. The 3 of them scream while running away from a giant white tiger. Jinbei can be seen sitting on a nearby stump watching over them. Jinbei. Stop running away and put your blindfolds back on. M&M. We'll get eaten if we do. Jinbei. Do you want to learn hockey or not? M&M. We want to stay alive. Nearby, Toru, Shoji, Satsuna and Ryuko are working on their stealth and hand-to-hand skills with Robin. They're currently trying to hide from her amongst the trees. Robin. You're still too loud and you're wasting your movements. An assassin must remain undetected even when right behind the target. You must also be aware of where your target is at all times. Robin says as clones of her appear from behind the 4 of them and grab their shoulders. Ryuko. Damn it. Toru. How do you keep on finding me? Robin. When your opponent is invisible, you should pay attention to your surroundings for signs of movement. Of course, you could always just use observation hockey. Down by the shore, a large group can be seen lined up and blindfolded. Usopp is taking aim at them with his slingshot and Brook is walking behind them with his cane. Usopp fires and land a paintball on Sato. Sato. Ow. Usopp. Hey, you're supposed to dodge. Vernon. But how are we supposed to do that if we're blindfolded? Vernon says while lifting up her blindfold a bit. She then gets bonked on the head by Brook. Brook. No peeking. Also, you need learn to sense the presence of the incoming attack. By the ships, the remaining few are seen sitting in a circle, also blindfolded. Sanji with a stick and Nami with her Klimattack are circling around them. Jiro. How long do we have to do this training before we can actually use hockey? Sanji. Depends. It took Luffy about 1.5 years for him to master the basics. Mount L. 1.5 years. Nami. Yep. Nami says as she hits Mount L on the head with her Klimattack. Mount L. Ow. Nami. Keep your focus. Ibara. But didn't it only take Midoriya 5 months to learn hockey? Tokoyami. By that logic, wouldn't it only take us 5 months to learn hockey as well? Sanji. It doesn't work that way. Sanji says while whacking Tokoyami. Sanji. Izuku is different. Like Luffy, he's a genius. Although unlike Luffy, his genius is not only in fighting. He was able to easily analyze Luffy, Mosshead and me. He figured out the mechanics of hockey from watching us and accelerated his development. So unless you can do the same, it'll probably take you just as long as Luffy, if not longer. Mount L. A. Watching the display from afar, Frankie, Melissa and May are busy building accommodations. Melissa. They sure are noisy. Frankie. That's a good thing. It shows that they're all super serious about this training. Speaking of which, let's hurry up with these sleeping quarters. The sooner we finish this, the sooner I can teach you guys how to create machines the world has never seen before. May. Then let's build with all we've got. Frankie. Atta girl. Melissa. I wonder how Deku and the others are doing. Meanwhile, deep in the forest. Izuku in both his 2nd and 3rd gear states is punched into a boulder by a red fist. Before he can move, his throat is caught between the tips of a trident. He looks up to see Luffy in his snakeman form and Katakuri. Luffy. We win. Katakuri. 4 seconds. Izuku. Shishi. Looks like standing a chance against you two is even less than a pipe dream. Hatakuri pulls his trident out and Luffy reverts back to normal. All Might then helps Izuku back up on his feet. All Might. Why am I here again? Luffy. I thought you were close to Izuku. Didn't you give him his kwai? Izuku. Senpai. Luffy. Oh yeah, I forgot. All Might. Coughing blood, you told them. Izuku. In my defense, I didn't think our current predicament would come to be. Hatakuri. What are you talking about? Izuku. It's nothing important. Hatakuri. Whatever you say. About your training, you're not using this new power of yours efficiently. You're spreading your haki too thinly as well. Luffy. Do you really need this tail? Izuku. It helps me balance myself in the air. Luffy. What about the horns? Izuku. It completes the look. Hatakuri. Don't waste your abilities for such a meaningless reason. You need to think smarter and use your abilities more creatively. Izuku. How so? Hatakuri. Watch. Hatakuri holds out his right arm to Izuku. His arm then seems to melt into white goo. Hatakuri. I ate the mochi fruit and became a mochi man. I can transform my body into mochi and detach it. By focusing and creating an image in mind, I can mold my mochi to form various structures. Hatakuri says as he molds and hackifies his mochi into the form of a Gatling gun. Hatakuri. Like so. Izuku. Incredible. Hatakuri. You try. Start simple and think sharp. Izuku. Sharp, eh? Alright. Izuku holds his hand in front of him and closes his eyes. The haki on his arm fades as more snow starts piling onto it. The snow and haki converge to form a black needle. Izuku. I did it. Luffy. Not bad. Hatakuri. Seems you're a fast learner. Another tip, you're leaving too much of your body exposed. Izuku. Well, if I use too much snow then I'll get frostbite quicker. And if I use more haki, I'll be spreading it too thin like you said. Hatakuri. Seems you need to train the durability of your haki. Luffy. That shouldn't be a problem. You remember, don't you, Izuku? Haki grows stronger in the heat of an actual battle. Izuku. Yeah. Luffy. Well, we'll be putting you through fights all day long to take your haki to the next level. So, get ready. Hatakuri. It's time for the next round. Izuku. Bring it. Meanwhile, a few meters away, Zoro is fighting against all the Conqueror's candidates. Zoro grabs Tiger's arm and uses him as a human shield against Maruko's kick. Tiger. Oomph. Maruko. Out of the way, kitty cat. Zoro grabs Maruko's leg and throws her up at Kendo, who tried to sneak attack him from above. He then draws Enma and blocks attacks from Tetsutetsu and Kirishima. He kicks them both back and jumps to avoid being frozen to the ground by Shoto. Momo takes advantage and throws flashbangs in the air up to Zoro. Zoro closes his eyes from the light and Tsuyu jumps in to attack with her tongue. Zoro, however, grabs her by the tongue and flings her into Ichako, Iida and Mirio, who tried to help. A tornado is then created around him by Inasa. Mixed in with the tornado are several metallic discs. Denki. You ready? Monoma. It pains me to work together with you. Monoma and Denki unleash electricity aimed at the discs. Zoro hackifies his body to defend from the electricity. He then holds his arms out to the side. Zoro. Mutoryu. Tatsumaki. Zoro spins and creates a wind to disperse the tornado and knock Inasa, Monoma and Denki back. Zoro is then caught and suspended in the air by a scarf wrapping around his arms. He looks up to see Shinso hanging from a tree above him. An explosion sounds and causes Zoro to look forward and see Katsuki blasting towards him. Once Katsuki gets close, Zoro kicks him in the gut. He then headbutts him down and pulls Shinso down by the scarf, sending him crashing onto Katsuki. Zoro. Yosh, did you guys see that? Katsuki. See what? You've just been kicking our SS for the past hour. Shinso. What exactly are we meant to learn here? Zoro. I showed you what it's like to fight against an observation haki user. Not easy to fight against someone who can read your moves, isn't it? Remember this, observation and armament haki are necessary to survive in the new world. Conqueror's haki, however, is necessary to surpass and dominate your foes. Tsuyu. Is there really a need for it though? Just knocking someone unconscious isn't that big of a deal. Zoro. Is that so? Well, let me ask you this. What do you think would win, armament haki or armament haki infused with Conqueror's haki? Shoto. Judging from the way you asked that question, I'd say Conqueror infused armament. Zoro. Heh, you catch on quick. Conqueror's haki is more than just presence. When strong enough, it can be used to affect your surroundings. Remember how part of the island cracked and how the waves swayed when we used our Conqueror's haki. Inasa. Oh yeah. Boruko. Alright, I get the importance of that. Zoro. Good. Also remember that Conqueror's haki can only be counteracted by Conqueror's haki or defended by a strong will. Momo. That means all the others are at risk then. Zoro. You can do the same with observation and armament. Even if your opponent can read your moves, it doesn't matter if they can't keep up with your speed. And you can overcome their armament haki with incredible power. Hiroshima. So it's either go all in or get wrecked. Zoro. Exactly. Now with that being said, let's get back to training. Everyone. Ida. But we've been going on for a solid hour now. Zoro. Then you won't mind going on for at least 2 more hours. Itsuki. Damn you, you tyrant. Zoro. Complain if you want, it'll just make things easier for me. 3 hours later. The group of trainees can be seen sitting by the ships and getting their injuries treated by Chopper and Izawa. Zero. Ow, that stings. Chopper. Hold still, you're making this take longer than it needs to. Midnight. Stop whining, you've just got a couple bumps on your head. Higaru. They still hurt. Sanji. Just be glad we didn't decide to use haki on the sticks. Okoyami. Can this really be considered training? Nami. It is. It's exactly how Luffy trained on this island. Nijire. It's impressive to think that he went through training like this for over a year. Frankie. No, Luffy's training was definitely even harder. Mina. Huh. How could his training have been harder? Chopper. It's because of who trained him. Izawa. Oh, he was trained by someone. Frankie. Yeah, an old man named Rayleigh. I'm sure you'll meet him sooner or later. Vernon. Is he strong? Sanji. You have no idea. Hell, I'm still not sure if Luffy's stronger than him. Lad. To think there's someone possibly stronger than him. Robin. Oh, it seems the others are done. The group looks to the forest and can see the Conqueror's candidates walking out the forest. They are all heavily beaten and bruised. Shoto and Katsuki can be seen being dragged by Zoro and Maruko, while Izuku is being carried over Luffy's shoulder. Zero. Geez, and I thought we looked bad. Mina. Todoroki and Midoriya's pretty faces, they're bruised. Satsuna. What in the hell happened to you guys? Itsuki. Everything. Satsuna. What does that even mean? Shinso. It means what it means. Izuku. Can someone grab my sword and get Princess Manchuri? I think we need her. Chopper. I'll do it. Sanji. I'll make you guys something to eat, you earned it. After getting Manchuri and her healing everyone, the group are treated to a feast by Sanji. While eating, Izuku stares at his kebab while mumbling to himself. Izuku. As it stands, Dragonman lacks defense. Covering myself with snow will accelerate the rate at which I get frostbite, and expanding my haki will weaken its durability. I need to work on my resistance to the cold. Also, using second gear seems to be the only way to make my power and speed effective. I need to find a way to do that without using second gear. Perhaps I should follow Luffy Senpai's example and create forms specifically for speed and power. Or maybe a form for long distance attacks and one for. Izuku's mumbling is cut off by Tsuyu shoving some bread in his mouth. Tsuyu. Your mumbling is making it hard to enjoy the food, Izuku-kun. Izuku. Oh, sorry. Ichako. You got beaten the most out of all of us. Izuku. Well, fighting against Luffy Senpai will do that to a person. To be honest, I'm surprised I got injured so little against 2 billion belly bounties. How was your guys' training? Itsuki. Hard as hell. Jiro. So was ours. Ida. Zoro-sensei takes training painfully seriously. Pony. Wow, sounds like you guys have it way rougher than us. Babara. The heavens are smiling upon us for now. Sanji. You guys better eat up. We'll be starting up again in 2 hours. And we'll be even rougher this time. Enki. Ugh, well, that's certainly something to look forward to. After getting their full, Kaminari, Zero and Mineta spend the rest of their break fishing and talking. Enki. So you guys were chased by a tiger for training? Zero. Yeah, it was scary. Mineta. Damn cat. Enki. Honestly, I'd rather take on a tiger than go up against Zoro-sensei. At least I could probably outrun it. Zero. I don't get how Midoriya could keep up with these guys. Mineta. Yeah, everyone's a freaking monster. Anyways, you guys got anything yet? Enki. Nope, nothing. Are there even any fish in these waters? Zero. Well, it's the ocean, so I'd say yeah. Mineta. Knowing this world though, we're bound to fish up some sort of monster. Enki. I'll just zap it. Zero. You'd fry us too in the process. Enki. As if you guys could What's that? The three of them look into the distant ocean to see an object on the water. They focus for a minute and can see the object growing closer. After a few seconds, their eyes widen in fear as they recognize the object to be a pirate ship being pulled by 2 snakes. They get up and start running to the others. B, S&M. Pirates. Bureau. Yeah, that's what we are now. Did you guys hit your heads or something? Enki. No, a pirate ship is heading this way, and fast. Nami. What? Izuku. We were found out already. Zoro. They must be pretty ballsy to come at us. Usopp. What if it's another emperor's? Nami. Usopp, Brook, go take the children to safety, the rest of you. Luffy. Wait a minute, Nami. Hey, you three, is the ship being pulled by two giant snakes? Mineta. Huh? Yeah, why? Luffy. Then we've got nothing to worry about. Luffy says as he takes a bite from his meat while the others look at him confused. While everyone's attention is on Luffy, the massive snake-pulled ship docks next to Izuku's. Everyone arms themselves for an impending fight. They are however caught off guard by a black blur going past them and crashing into Luffy. Everyone turns around to see a well-endowed woman snuggling up to Luffy. Luffy, I missed you so much. Luffy. Hancock, it's good to see you too. The woman's eyes widen and turn heart-shaped as she backs away and turns around. Hancock. Blushing, he missed me too and said my name again. Is this a proposal? Izawa. It's not. Who's this crazy lady? Robin. She's Boa Hancock, the pirate empress. Izuku. Her. Ichako. Is she a big deal? Izuku. She's one of the 7 warlords and arguably the most beautiful woman in the world. Mineta. No arguably needed, she's drop-dead gorgeous. Sanji. Love struck right, you are. Her beauty is rumored to turn men to stone. Sanji says just before catching a glimpse of her face. Once he sees her face, he turns to stone. Enki. He's rock hard. Robin. Just so you know, Izuku, the 7 warlords aren't a thing anymore. Izuku. Really? I really need to catch up on everything that's happened. Robin. I'd be happy to tell you about everything later. Sai. It sure looks like she likes Luffy-kun. Mina. Kaya, it's a love triangle. I've always wanted to see one in real life. Hancock. I was so worried when I heard you fought against the emperors. The thought of me never seeing you again broke my heart. Luffy. As if I'd ever get killed by them. I heard your island was in trouble with the navy. I'm glad to see you're okay. Hancock's face goes red as she tries to cover it with her hands. Hancock. Blush, he's worried about me more than himself. Hancock turns away to avoid looking at Luffy. Hancock. Blushing, I can't even look at your face. Izawa. She's like a schoolgirl high on love. Midnight. I don't think she's even noticed us. Hey Luffy. Everyone looks to the ships to see a bunch of loosely dressed female warriors accompanied by snakes. A blonde-haired woman runs from the group and hugs Luffy. Luffy. Marguerite, it's been a long time, how have you? Before Luffy can react, he's tackled to the ground by the female warriors. Everyone watches as they all proceed to pull on Luffy's skin. WARRIOR1. Wow, it's even more stretchy than I remember. WARRIOR2. I forgot how fun this was. Luffy. Hey, stop fat, I see an apostrophe T eat like this. Shoto. Looks like this love triangle turned into an aparagon. Izuku. What's with all these exposed women? Rikuja warriors from Amazon Lily, young man. Izuku looks to his left to see a small elderly woman using a snake as a staff. Luffy, hey Granny Nyan. Nyan. It's good to see you too, young emperor. Girls, stop it, you're making Luffy uncomfortable. Girls. Really? Luffy? Yesh. The girls let go of Luffy's skin and allow him to finish his food. Luffy. Thanks for the help, Granny Nyan. Nyan. It's the least I could do considering I couldn't stall her for more than a day. Hancock. I'm sorry I didn't come when I sensed your hockey yesterday, Luffy. But I spent the whole day making your favorites from Amazon Lily. Aphalandra, Sandersonia, Mary, bring down the food. Sandersonia. Sure big sis. From the Kuja's ship, 3 incredibly tall women jump off with a mountain of food. Luffy. Whoa, there's so much food and it looks so tasty. Hancock. Blush, only the very best for you, Luffy. I made it with love, as your wife should. Izawa. Didn't you just think he proposed to you? Izuku. All of this looks pretty good. I've gotta try some. Izuku reaches for a piece of meat but pulls his hand back to narrowly avoid a heel. He looks up to see Hancock enraged with the aura of a devil. Hancock. Angry, this food is not for you, child. Touch it and you won't touch anything ever again, understood? Izuku. Scared, why yes. Ichako. Her personality just did a total reverse. Warrior. Hey, there are a lot of other men here too. The warrior's attention is shifted to all of the boys and men. They then proceed to examine all of them carefully. WARRIOR1. This one has 6 arms, but no hands. Shoji. I prefer the term tentacles. WARRIOR2. Are you dead? Brook. Well yes, but no. Warrior 3. This one looks dead inside. Izawa. Being blunt, are you? This joke. Ha, that's a perfect description. Izuku. Were you also interested in us males? Marguerite. It's because there are no males allowed at our home of Amazon Lily. We're an island of only women. Most of us here have never even seen a male aside from Luffy, so we were really interested in him. Everyone wanted to touch him so much. Mineta. That lucky bastard. Izuku. Wait, but then how do you know Luffy-senpai? Marguerite. He got sent to our island 2 years ago. We actually thought he was a girl like us before Granny Nyan informed us he was a man. Izuku. I see. I mean I don't really get how you could confuse him for a woman, but I guess since you'd never seen a man before, that's understandable. Marguerite. By the way, can I ask you something? Izuku. Sure, what is it? Marguerite. Can you show us your family jewels? Marguerite says while pointing at Izuku's crotch. This causes Izuku and almost every other male there to choke on their spit. Izuku. What are you saying? Marguerite. Luffy said that men keep their family jewels in the little pouch between their legs. But he always refuses to show them to us. Luffy. Because I'd die if I did. Izuku. As would any other male. Mineta. Welp, let's not keep them waiting. Zoro. Take it out and you lose it. Mineta. I was joking. Nami. What are you doing telling them that nonsense, Luffy? Luffy. It's the truth isn't it? Izuku. Yeah, but couldn't you have said something less misleading? Sandersonia. Hey Mary. Marigold. Yeah, I know. Sis, that woman. Hancock. Luffy did you say something? Marigold. Ugh, isn't that woman one of the ones you talked about? Hancock looks to Nami before looking back to her sisters. She then looks back to Nami and sees Robin and Carrot as well. Hancock. You three. Nami. Huh. Is something wrong? Hancock. So you three are the women who get to spend every day and night with my Luffy. I may envy you, but I won't stand for this. Nami. Huh. Hancock. You may be around him more, but I won't be deterred. I won't give up until Luffy is mine. Everyone. No, you should give up. Robin. It might actually be too late for that. Hancock. It can't be. Nami. Yeah. Hancock. You dare to copulate with my Luffy. Eerie. What does copulate mean? Izawa. You don't need to know. In fact, try and forget the word. Nami. Izuku, help me. Izuku. Hancock-san, why don't you try to? Hancock. Stay out of this, child. Izuku. Okay. Nyan. Stop throwing a tantrum and act like the snake princess you are. Hancock. You stay out of this too, you old hag. Nyan. Old hag. Show some respect to your elders. Marigold. Now, calm down granny. You know how big sis gets. Sandersonia. At any rate, we should get back to Amazon Lily. You know we can't stay gone for too long. Hancock. I suppose you're right. We never know when the Marines might attack again. Robin. The Marines are hassling you? Hancock. Yes. Since I've lost my warlord status, Amazon Lily no longer has protection from the Marines. As a result, the Kuja pirates are the only line of defense. We cannot stay too long away from home. So I'll have to settle things with you three later. Everyone. Is there even anything to settle? Carrot. Did we do something? Robin. Apparently us knowing Luffy is a problem. Hancock. Farewell is such sweet sorrow, Luffy. But I'm afraid my people need me. So we must painfully say goodbye for now. Luffy. Wait a minute, Hancock. Luffy says as he steps away from his food. He then rockets onto the Sunny. After a while, he comes out with 2 flags bearing the Straw Hat Jolly Roger. Luffy. Here, take this. You can use this to show the Marines that your island is under our protection. You guys have done a lot for me, so feel free to ask me for help when you need. I'll come to your aid in a matter of seconds. Hancock's face turns a new shade of red as her eyes turn heart-shaped. She takes the flag from his hands and buries her face in it. Hancock. Love-struck, saying something like that. This really is a proposal, isn't it? Izawa. No, it's not. Nyan. Are you married or engaged? Make up your mind. Luffy. This one's for your ship, Izuku. Izuku. Thanks, Luffy-senpai. After boarding their ship, the Kuja start sailing back home. Hancock. Bye, Luffy, I'll be sure to come back real soon. Luffy. See ya, Hancock. Midnight. Well, that was certainly something. Izuku. She's really strong. No wonder she was a warlord. Sigh. She was really mean to you though, Izuku. Ichako. Yeah, she had no reason to be so aggressive. Robin. Well, the women of Amazon Lily are said to have a hatred of men. Luffy, being the obvious exception. Sanji. Damn it, Mineta. It's always the ones who don't even try. After all of that, everyone resumes their training. Everyone can be seen on the shore split up into two groups of male and females. Sanji can be seen standing in front of the group of males, while Izuku stands in front of the girls. Sanji. Alright, so far we've been training you to try and bring out your haki. Now we'll be training your body. Today we'll focus on your legs. You'll be running laps around the island until nightfall. Zero. What? Mount L. You can't be serious. Izuku. Trust me, this training is easy compared to what I did. Sanji. Listen, to keep you motivated, Izuku and I will be chasing after you. If we catch you, you'll be punished. Iida. Punished how? Sanji. If I catch you boys, you'll have to wear dresses for a week. Aminari and Mineta. Katsuki. You're bluffing. Sanji. Am I? Sanji smirks before reaching into his coat and pulling out a photo. He then tosses the photo to Katsuki and all the males gather around him to see it. Their eyes widen as they see an image of Izuku in a dress. They all look to Izuku and can see him hiding his face in his hands. Izuku. I still don't know where he got that dress. Sanji. I'll be nice and give you guys a minute head start. Ichako. What about us? Wearing a dress isn't exactly a problem for us. Deiro and Maruko. Speak for yourself. Izuku. I know. If I catch you, you'll have to eat Luffy-senpai's food for dinner tonight. Chopper. Izuku. No. Nami. That's too cruel a punishment. Brook. You'll kill their taste buds. Luffy. My food's not that bad. Parrot. You almost killed us with it. Mina. It's that bad. Toru. Let's run like never before. Sato. Yeah. Filled with fear, the two groups run at breakneck speeds. Sanji. That sure got them motivated. Izuku. I wonder if any of them will want to train under you after this, Sanji-san. Luffy. Sure they will. That kid with the robot legs and rabbit lady seemed interested for sure. Luffy says while Carrot bites on his ear. Robin, reading a book with Tama on a chair nearby, pulls out a pocket watch from her shirt. Robin. It's been 1 minute you know. Sanji. Alright. Izuku. Let's chase them down. Izuku and Sanji say as they both dash forward fast enough to create a small vacuum behind them. At night. Zoro, Usopp and Luffy. Ha 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 ha. Katsuki. Stop laughing you jackasses. Luffy. I can't, it's too funny. Luffy laughs while pointing at all of the males wearing dresses. Shoto. This dress isn't very flattering. Mineta. Geez Iida, you make an ugly lady. Iida. I know I had so much confidence in my speed yet I ended up like this. Tiger. This isn't that much different from my hero suit. Enki. Why do you even have these many dresses? Sanji. Shivers, I'd rather not talk about it. Mount L. This food tastes so bad. Mina. It's somehow burnt and raw. Ichako. Why is it purple? Toru. This is cruel and unusual punishment. Boruko. Sounds pretty rough. Boruko says while taking a bite of the carrot cake she and Carrot were eating from. Boruko. Ah, this is so good. Carrot. Yeah, it's really tasty. Thanks Izuku Garchu chomp. Izuku. Ouch, stop biting my ear, I'm still busy cooking here. Zoro. Oi, Izuku, get me some sake. Izuku. Sure thing. Sai. You're really working hard Izuku-kun. Let me help you a bit. Izuku, thanks Sai. Nami. You two really get along well. Izawa. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Midnight. Yeah, especially after that moment they shared. Izuku and Sai both flinch hearing them speak of what happened when they were alone. Ichako. Moment. Deku, what are they talking about? Izuku. I really have no idea. Sai. Me neither. Mina. You two keep avoiding the subject you know. Izuku. Do we? Anyway, Katakuri-san, aren't you hungry? I haven't seen you eat at all. If there's something else you'd rather eat, I can make it for you. Katakuri. Donuts. Izuku. Huh. Katakuri. I'd like some donuts. Is that a problem? Izuku. And no, I just didn't expect something so sweet. Luffy. Make some for me too, Izuku. Izuku. Sure, Luffy-senpai. Katakuri. I'm eating on the ship. Bring them there. Izuku. Okay. After making the donuts and preparing some tea, Izuku excuses himself from the group and carries the snacks to the Thousand Sunny. He enters the kitchen to find Luffy, Tama and Katakuri. Izuku. Here you go. I figured I'd make him extra large since given your size, I can assume you have an appetite similar to Luffy-senpai's. Katakuri. My thanks. Luffy. Why don't you have some, Izuku? Izuku. Sure, I'd love some. Izuku places the donuts and tea down on the table and starts pouring some cups for everyone. Katakuri grabs a donut from the table and uses his other hand to grab his scarf. He removes his scarf to reveal his unique mouth and teeth. Izuku. Katakuri-san, your teeth. Katakuri. I know. It's why I wanted to eat here. Izuku. Oh. But why, let me see. Katakuri. From what Straw Hat tells me, it seems you can keep a secret. So I'll place my trust in you. Luffy. Izuku isn't the kind of person to go back on the trust a person put in him. Luffy says while breaking off a piece of the big donut and giving it to Tama. Izuku. You guys think really highly of me. Katakuri. The way you fight shows that you follow your morals. It's impressive. You'd better finish up, I'm sure the others are waiting. Izuku. Smile okay. Izuku says as he picks up a donut and starts eating. The four of them enjoy their tea and donuts as the night comes to an end. The next morning. The dress-wearing males are gathered up in front of the two ships. Katakuri can be seen standing in front of the group. Enki. Ugh, why are we up so early? Mineta. And why aren't the girls here too? Katakuri. The girls are taking a morning bath. They'll get this training later. Shoto. But what exactly is this training? It's observation training. The group look behind them to see a dark caped figure standing on the Sunny's figurehead. The man jumps in front of the group. He turns around to reveal himself as Sanji wearing some sort of suit. Shoto. Sanji-san. Sanji. No, I'm not Sanji. I am Soba Mask. Bitsuki. That's the dumbest name I've ever heard. Sanji. Shut up, brat. Izuku. That's some suit you've got there, Sanji-san. The males look to see Izuku wearing a dark suit of his own walk out from behind Katakuri. Sanji. You're not one to talk, Izuku. I haven't seen you wear that suit since the Tesoro incident. Izuku. Yeah, it feels good to be back in a full bodysuit. Enki. What's with the dark suits you two? Sanji. They're for today's training. To accelerate your observation hockey growth, we're going to take away your reliance on other senses. Zero. Huh, what do you mean? Sanji laughs before turning completely invisible. Sanji. This suit will prevent you from using your eyes to find me. Izuku smiles as he holds his hand in the air. The invisible Sanji slaps Izuku's gauntlet and silences himself. Izuku. And by using my gauntlet's ability, you won't be able to hear us either. You've got 2 minutes to land a hit on us. Izuku says before touching himself with the gauntlet and silencing himself as well. Zero. Okay, but we can still see Midoriya. It's not like he can turn invisible too. Izuku smirks before turning his head to nod at Katakuri. Katakuri stomps his foot on the ground in response. This causes the ground surrounding them to turn into mochi. The mochi then forms a dome that traps the group in complete darkness. Zero. Oh, I guess that solves that issue. Ida. Stay alert. We need to try and attack them. The group look ready themselves to try and counter. Suddenly, Shoto gets hit in the back of his head. He gasps in pain, but no sound comes out of his mouth. Shoto. He silenced me. Of course it's so we can't pinpoint their location when they attack us. Everyone is left helpless as they all get attacked and silenced. No sound is heard, but the blows are definitely heavy. Everyone gets knocked left and right and into each other. After 2 solid minutes, Katakuri drops the dome to reveal Izuku, and all the males lying on the floor beat up. Izuku touches himself once more to unsilence himself. Izuku. I think we might have gone too far. Enki. You think? Izuku. I suppose it's still far too soon for you guys to pick traces of a person's aura. Right, Sanji-san. Sanji-san. Izuku tries sensing for Sanji's aura but can't find him anywhere. A loud scream is then heard from Izuku's ship. Nami. Damn it, Sanji. After Nami's yell, the sound of something being punched can be heard by everyone. Sanji then crashes next to the group. His black suit is stained red by blood from a nosebleed. Izuku. Sanji-san. Izuku touches Sanji with his gauntlet and allows him to speak once more. Sanji. Izuku, is that you? Izuku. Sanji-san, what happened? Sanji. I lived every man's dream is all I have, no regrets. I guess I'll die. Mineta. Sensei, no. Izuku. Sanji-san. Pitsuki. This is a pathetic way to die. Several hours later. Everyone is taking a break from training and they're choosing to spend their time by watching Izuku and Zoro spar. The bandana-wearing duo rush against each other and clash blades faster than the eye can see. They continue slashing at each other until they got locked in a Notoryu clash. Izuku. That new sword of yours is pretty tough, sensei. Though I never thought you'd give up Shusui. Zoro. What can I say, Shusui is resting where it belongs. Besides, it was someone else's black blade. I'll turn this one into my own. The two jump back and both sheath one of their blades. Izuku and Zoro hackify their blades and run towards each other. They both slash diagonally and cause a Conqueror's clash with their blades. Denki. They're really going at it. Ajiro. And this is supposed to be their break from training. The two clash evenly for a while before Zoro overpowers Izuku and forces him down on his back. While Izuku is down on the ground, Zoro holds his blade to his face. Zoro. Looks like you've still got a long way to go. Izuku. Sure seems that way. Zoro holds his hand out for Izuku and helps him up. The two smile at each other before taking off their bandanas. Izuku. So that's what a land of Wano blade has to offer. Zoro. Wanna give it a try? Izuku. Really? Well, I'll take you up on that offer. Izuku takes Enma from Zoro and holds it up to the sky so he can examine the blade. Izuku. Whoa, this is a fine blade. Got some good weight to it too. Now then, let's give it a good swing. Izuku walks up to a tree nearby the others. He holds the blade over his shoulder and grips it tightly. He then swings at the tree and slashes it, as well as several acres of trees behind it. The others look at the sight impressed before looking at Izuku to see his arm in an almost all-mightishly skeletal hackified state. Shoto. Midoriya, your arm. Ichako. Deku. Izuku. You greedy sword, give it back. Izuku yells as he bulks his arm back to regular shape. Zoro. Oh, I forgot to mention. Enma will forcibly draw out the hockey's user. Izuku. What a troublesome sword this is. It's way past my current level. Zoro. For now yeah. But I do have something for you. Izuku. Huh? Zoro. Smirk Robin. Robin. I hear you. At that moment, something comes flying from the sunny. Zoro catches it and reveals it to be a purple sheathed blade. Zoro. A little gift from the land of Wano. The predecessor of my Sandai Kitetsu, Nidai Kitetsu. Izuku. Nidai Kitetsu. One of the 3 Kitetsu series blades. Zoro. Yeah, a Mito grade sword. Even higher rank than mine. I got it from Wano's version of Usopp. Izuku. Huh? Zoro. Here, it's yours. Izuku. You sure? Shouldn't you? Zoro. I already have Sandai Kitetsu. I don't plan on trading it in any time soon. Although, I'm sure you already know about the Kitetsu series. Izuku. Of course, you're the one who taught me about them. Sai. Is there something wrong with sword? Izuku. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that the sword is. Zoro. Cursed. Izuku. Yeah, that. All swordsmen who have come in possession of a Kitetsu sword have met with a horrible death. Momo. What? Toru. That's terrifying. Shoto. But doesn't sensei also use that sword series? Zoro. I challenge my luck against the sword's curse. Smirk my luck 1. You don't have to the sword if you don't want to Izuku. I understand if you don't want to take on the curse. Izuku looks at the blade for a moment before confidently grasping the handle and unsheathing it. Izuku. As if I'd be scared of a simple curse. I'm a straw hat, we don't fear such minor stuff. Zoro. Heh, well said. Denki. Sai, how is it you keep finding ways to get cooler and cooler? Izuku. You're just imagining things. Anyways, what am I gonna do with katana of mine? Ichako. I can hold onto it for you. Izuku. Ichako. Do you want to learn yo use a sword? Ichako. Not at the moment, but if I ever decide to try and learn, I want to use your sword to guide me. Izuku. Ichako smile, it's all yours. Sai. You're giving her special treatment, Izuku-kun. Izuku. She asked for it and I gave it to her. I don't see how that's special treatment. Hey Midoriya. Izuku. Huh, what is it, Hatsum-san? Hatsum. Robo-sensei wants to see you. Izuku. Huh, Frankie-san. Izuku excuses himself from the group and follows May to where Frankie and Melissa are working on the accommodations for everyone. Izuku. We need more supplies. Frankie. Yeah, we're running low. Your ship's also running low on cola. You've got 14 barrels now, that's enough for 2 Kuta bursts. Izuku. So what do you want me to do? Frankie. What do you think, go on a supply run. Take these 2 and go get the necessary materials. I know an island where you can get the stuff. It's near where Zoo used to be. Izuku. I see. Although, I'm not so certain about bringing Melissa and Hatsum-san along. Frankie. If you're worried about protecting them, just ask Luffy to go along with you. Izuku. Well, I guess they won't really be in any danger if we're just going to get materials. Melissa. I also want to see how you sail the ship. I can't be a combatant, but I can at least help you sail the ship. May. Ditto. Izuku. Heh, I like your enthusiasm. After getting Luffy, creating a portal, and having Anasa create a wind for them, the four set off for the island Frankie told them about. Izuku and Luffy are currently chatting by the helm, while May and Melissa are checking out the inner workings of the ship. Izuku. So we've got the rubbings of 3 of the road poneglyphs. Luffy. Yeah, and we've already got an idea where the last one is. Izuku. In the possession of one of the other emperors, huh? Luffy. Most likely. Izuku. So we'll be going to war with the emperors then. We need to prepare ourselves. By the way, it's fair to say that just getting the last poneglyph isn't enough, isn't it? Luffy. Yeah, before I can become the Pirate King, I'm going to take down the remaining emperors. I can't become the king unless I do that. Izuku. I'd expect nothing less from you, senpai. We'll all be fighting by your side. Luffy. Smile, that's good to hear. Hey, I see the island. Izuku and Luffy looks to see the island in sight. After sailing for a short while, they arrive to see the city destroyed. Izuku. The city, what happened? Luffy walks up to an injured old native on the ground. Luffy. Hey, what happened? Who did this to you? Old man. It was pirates. They ransacked us and kidnapped our women and children. We cooperated, but they showed no mercy. Luffy stands up as his and Izuku's eyes were shadowed. He then turns to another native. Luffy. Oi, which way did they go? Man. They sailed off in that direction. Luffy. Thanks. Izuku. Hatsum, Melissa, we're setting sail. Melissa. Deku, Luffy-san. Luffy. We're not letting them get away with this. Izuku and Luffy grab the 2 of them and jump back on the ship. Izuku grabs the lever and steers the ship in the direction that the pirates had gone. He then uses Ku to burst a rocket forward. After flying for a while, they land in front of 2 ships. Izuku. Melissa, don't move the ship. Luffy. The villagers are in the left ship, you take that one. Izuku. Roger that. Luffy rockets onto the right ship while Izuku skywalks to the other. Pirate-1. Oi, who the hell are you? Luffy. You've got a lot of nerve doing what you did. Pirate-2. Hey, doesn't his face look familiar? Pirate-3. Wait, isn't that the Emperor? Pirate-4. Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy unleashes a burst of Conqueror's haki that causes all the men above deck to pass out. On the other ship, Izuku had already done the same and was busy looking through the ship. Once he reaches the cell holding the villagers, he draws his black sword and Nidai Kitetsu. He slashes open the cage with Nidai Kitetsu and creates a portal to ship using Yamajiri. Izuku. Go. But that one word, the villagers run through the portal and make it onto the ship. After all of them make it through, Izuku closes the portal and makes his way back to the deck. He looks to the other ship to see Luffy stretching several large bags and chests back to the ship. Luffy. That should be everything. It's time we end this. Izuku. I couldn't agree more. Izuku puts 2 fingers in his mouth and whistles before jumping off the ship. He then flies up from the surface of the ocean in his Kuro bird form. Luffy follows suit and jumps on Izuku's back. Izuku. Melissa, there should be a lever on the left of the helm. Aim the ship's figurehead at the one on the left and pull the lever. Melissa. Okay. Izuku. Shall we heat things up, senpai? Luffy. Yeah. Izuku flies high into the air above the right ship. Luffy jumps up and goes second gear as Izuku's bird limbs transform into their mechanical parts. Izuku points his left hand down as if to aim and cocks back and hackifies his right arm. Luffy throws and hackifies his left arm back and points his right hand down like Izuku. Luffy. Gomu Gomu no. Izuku's right fist catches fire as Luffy's arm sets ablaze. Izuku. Heat. Luffy throws his right arm down in time with Izuku punching downwards. This launches a massive fireball down at the pirate ship. Izuku and Luffy. Magnum. The fireball crashes onto the ship and completely destroys it. Izuku transforms back into his man-bird form and flies Luffy back to the ship. Meanwhile, May and Melissa had taken aim at the other ship. May. Target in sight. Ready and. Melissa. Fire. Melissa pulls the lever as a hole opens up in the front of the ship and a cannon comes out. A white light forms at the cannon mouth and air seems to get sucked in. A white blast then fires and completely demolishes the ship. Melissa. It worked. May. We did it. Izuku. Well done you two. Melissa. Deku, we did it. Melissa says as she runs up to Izuku and gives him a hug. Izuku. Blush Melissa-san. Melissa. Ah, sorry, I got carried away in the moment. Izuku. It's fine. Can you go get some rope? Luffy-senpai, can you help me pull up those pirates? We can't have them swimming back to the island. Luffy. Sure. Melissa. Okay. While Melissa goes to get the rope, Izuku and Luffy use their abilities to pull up the pirates. Izuku. Alright, that should be all of them. Hatsum-san, can you help tie these guys up? Izuku looks to Mei to see her stuffing her face with food from the bags. Izuku. Hatsum-san. Mei. Oh, sorry, I skipped breakfast. You want a piece? Mei says as she holds out a piece of what she was eating to Izuku. Izuku. Blush, I may be hungry, but no. That would be an entire huh. Izuku says while he stares intently at what Mei was holding. His eyes them widen as he can see that it's a grey fruit with swirly patterns on it. Izuku. Hatsum-san, that fruit. Mei. Huh. Izuku runs up to Mei and squeezes her cheeks to try and make her spit it out. Izuku. Spit it out, 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 spit it out. Mei. But I already swallowed it. Izuku. Do you have any idea of what you've just done? Mei. No. Izuku. You just ate a devil fruit. Mei. Did I? Izuku. How did you not realize? I told you exactly what they looked like. You've even worked with two of the. Mei. Sorry, I forget about that. Luffy. Shishi reminds me of when I ate my devil fruit. Izuku. This is going to be a pain to explain to the others. Mei. It doesn't really bother me. I was never really one to go for swimming. Izuku. That's not the problem here. Melissa. Do you at least know what devil fruit it is, Mei-san? Izuku. Oh, yeah. You should know the name of the devil fruit now. Mei. Mei name does actually come to mind. Clank clank. Izuku. Clank clank. That doesn't really tell me what it does. Luffy. Clank clank. Izuku. You know that devil fruit, senpai. Luffy. It sounds really familiar. Meanwhile, in the East Blue, on a certain ship. I'm sorry for reporting in so late. That monster keeps a tight watch on us. It's fine. Did you learn about Straw Hat's location? Yes. We'll be making our way to him using a Viver card. I'll send a piece to you so you can track him no matter where he goes. Mama, I knew I could count on you, my little mole. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.